Welcome to Visionaries Global Media, your number one source for podcasting entertainment. Visionaries Global Media, envisioning excellence on a global scale.
This is Banned from Ringside.
Tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast, MJF gets made, Moxley gets hung, Sami Zayn gets betrayed, Cody and Roman get real, and Austin Theory gets killed. That and a whole bunch more tonight on the Banned from Ringside podcast.
Not bad. In one take, that was...
I wrote it down.
You wrote...
I'm a journalist.
Jesus.
Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Mark. So welcome to the Banned from Ringside podcast. As always, I'm your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Sojourner R-Truth. And sitting directly across from me, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCP? That could have been for Black or Women's History Month.
That's so good.
I was getting ready to get on you, but, well, I guess, yeah, checks both boxes. Okay, cool enough, right? Well played. On that lovely note, I'll ask their congregation to bow their heads as I read from the latest edition of the Banned from Ringside podcast, volume 298, chapter 3, verse 14 of the Good Smart saying, hashtag boo the heels. It's all good, baby. Listen, share, subscribe, repeat. The Holy Trinity of BFR. Massive weeks coming up. The March to 300. Special guests coming in. Surprises up in store. Nigga, I can't wait.
And out there in Portland, Oregon, we have Two Beer Zach Bowman. What's going on, Two Beer Zach?
BFR West is in the house.
That intro was so impressive. I don't know that we need to talk about anything.
Yeah, well, just stop. Hey, everybody. We know there's tons of podcasts.
Thanks for listening.
So we have Joey O'Farrell, a.k.a. Tinder Mahal, the fourth man or fifth man or however you want to say it. One of the, you know him. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of BFR. He's going to come on a little bit later to talk about his upcoming big event, STL versus the World Volume 2 at Grandel, at the Grandel in St. Louis on March the 18th, I believe. So if you're interested in that, he's going to come on at the end of the show. He's going to talk up that card. It is a doozy, guys.
Yeah, I thought last year was good.
I thought last year was good, too. Last year was a spectacular event. It's a fucking beautiful venue. He gets some names in there, and the wrestling was great. So Joey O'Farrell's going to be...
I can't believe one of our friends, is a wrestling promoter, let alone, a really fucking good one.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
It's pretty
strange. I was going to say, it speaks well for us, right?
I mean, all in all, it's pretty strange.
I'm working 2 jobs. Just trying to make shit happen.
Well,
this motherfucker bringing in Dak Draper.
Yeah, did you know Zach didn't say anything about him being rich, though? I wouldn't worry about that. He's still working hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, very much so.
But he's doing what he loves, and if you do that, you never work a day in your life. So, lots of stuff to talk about this week. I posted on Twitter, I posted on Friends of BFR on Facebook how excited I was to get to talking about the goings on this week. And man, I am excited. We are coming at you from beautiful St. Charles, Missouri. It is a Thursday night, like always. I don't know why I said what day of the week it was. Let's get started with that 3 count.
Jesus Christ. Well, I guess for those who listen tomorrow,
So if there's any news, I should say it's a Thursday night because we're not covering the Ring of Honor show that is going on tonight. That actually has a really good card.
It's going on as we speak
right now.
Yeah.
We will cover it next week. Jason, kick us off.
Well. I want to go with the Beatles. It's kind of played out. I think we did that before. Either way, AEW Revolution from Sunday night. From the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 card match. I was surprised there's so little matches on the card. This is not what TK usually does, but nonetheless, it still worked itself out. It was a much more smoother flow, and I think this might be the way to go moving forward. To me, the biggest takeaway, obviously, is the main event. There's 3 matches that really stood out to me, but obviously the main event is the story. So we can kind of dive into all the matches, but I want to start with the main event first because, like I said, well, I didn't say it, but Bill said it at the top. One guy was made coming in, and another guy was made going out. MJF wins the main event in spectacular fuckery formation. I knew it wasn't going to be clean. I just couldn't figure out how it was going to be done. The LaBelle lock as the finisher was the nice little chef's kiss to a 67-minute Iron Man instant classic. Bryan Danielson, I thought, was amazing in this match. MJF taking the water breaks. I know people had a problem with that. I didn't think it was that big of a deal per se. You know, if the man's got to get some water, and so be it. I mean, shit.
Fucking get work.
Hold on a second. People, man, I was going to say this during my part, but wait a minute. People were pissed off about the water breaks? The water breaks set up the oxygen at the end, which set up the heel fuckery that ended up winning him the match. It was
fucking Mark.
It was brilliant. Were there people actually mad about the water? They were thinking that he was actually taking the water breaks because he needed them? That was the story. Unbelievable. Wow. People just watch the wrestling way different than I do. That is unbelievable to me. Sorry, Jason. Don't mean to hijack your count. Go ahead.
No, it's our show, man.
I did not know that people had problems with the water breaks. Get worked is right. Zach is 100% right. Okay, go ahead. Obviously, there's no more secret in how I felt about the match. Jesus.
I'll say this, and then from this point, I'll pass the mic for anybody that wants to speak on it. People are saying this is the greatest Iron Man match of all time. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart might be on line one. They at least have the phone in hand. All that being said, I thought this was done better than I had anticipated. The low blow to set up 2 quick pinfalls after the original Bryan Danielson pinfall, I thought was really, really smart. So now MJF took the lead. So now I'm like, okay, so we're going 5. How we get there is the question. I thought they did another amazing job of setting everything up when Danielson tied it up. You know, it's another, submission to where now MJF is like, I got to do this. Otherwise, I can't go this extra, whatever it was, 10 or 15 minutes, give or take, to finish the match. When it gets to the tie, and I'm sitting there like, okay, this has got to be sudden death, right? I mean, there's no way that we're just going to end this in a draw. They did it the right way again. As much as I dog TK, and I think sometimes deservingly so, I thought this match, he hit the shit right. This was a home run to end the fucking show. I thought it was beautifully done from start to finish. Obviously, the right guy went over. Danielson loses nothing. If anything, he gains, something out of this. Just adds to the legacy of Bryan Danielson and gives another checkpoint for Bill's point to saying he's the GOAT of all professional wrestling. So, I mean, there's no superlatives that I can't give this match. This is an A+ performance on both sides. It's a 5-star match, whatever you want to call it. Okay, just moving forward. I'm not even worried about Bryan Danielson. I'm worried about what's next for MJF.
Zach, what did you think?
Man, it's funny, going into this pay-per-view, I was not, and I think I'm like a lot of people, I wasn't like super keen on it, right? I was like, yeah, it's an AEW pay-per-view. I'm sure it's going to deliver, but like I wasn't like really anxiously looking forward to like plunking down my $50 for this thing. And I did it. And just like, Forbidden Door, which was marred by a bunch of injuries and stuff, so that kind of like lacked some luster in the beginning. This thing fucking delivered. Had three fantastic matches, and then this main event was legitimately one of the best singles matches in AEW history, in a promotion absolutely stacked with phenomenal matches in its short history. So, like Jason said, it's really hard to find the superlatives, but just from a psychological level, a storytelling level, an actual like wrestling level, just absolutely masterclass on how to like do this professional wrestling thing. I mean, we already talked about how Iron Man matches weren't necessarily our favorites, and they overcame that objection and then some. Just absolutely killer. It's funny. I've watched that Shawn Michaels Bret Hart match because that was in my head. That was the kind of the epitome of that. That fucking match is boring compared to the fucking match.
No doubt.
It did not. It was layered. It was 60 minutes of everything being meaningful. Dude, like, I don't know. I feel like this should put the MJF, like, haters to bed. Well, I mean, you're going to hate him because he's very hateable. But as far as, like, the guy can't wrestle or, you know, whatever, I know it was Bryan Danielson, but, dude, like, it takes two to tango, and he was fucking excellent.
The flip off the top was where I was just like, okay, that's athleticism.
MJF, like, he did a goddamn, like moonsault, and he did a jump, an elbow through a table off the top rope to the outside, which is funny because I think Bill said it before, like, the guy could make a career never even coming off the second rope if he wanted to. So.
Right. I mean, like The Rock. Listen, you say it's going to put the MJF, it's going to shut the MJF haters up. I wouldn't call myself an MJF hater. I have said that he's above average in the ring, but that he's not great in the ring, it's shutting me up. I mean, it's going to shut me up. It's going to shut me up forever, and I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, or not afraid. I echo Zach's sentiments that, and this was kind of widespread. Like, Iron Man matches are not particularly fun. Sunday night, I know that I always tell you guys how I watched it, but Sunday night I was fucking beat. I ended up going to bed at like 8 o'clock. I avoided all spoilers. I turned it on. I worked from home on Monday, and I watched it. I had a pretty easy day, and I had the iPad rolling, and I watched it. Did not know who won. And by the last 20 minutes of this Iron Man, because it started, and I was like, okay, I'm checking the clock. I'm like, okay, so so when do I eat lunch? You know, like, am I going to eat lunch during this? You know what I mean? Because it's like I watched the entire pay-per-view, and it started coming on around noon, and I'm like, so, and
that's a fucking amazing.
By the last,
he's like,
by the last 20 minutes,
I can skip this first 30, right?
I did. And I'll say that the first 30 are saved. The first 30 were saved by two things. The first one being Bryan Danielson's acumen in the ring, which is well known. The second one being MJF is just a clown on the outside. He is talking shit. He's throwing tequila in kids' faces. He is fucking yelling at Dave Meltzer through the camera. We can talk about the kids thing later, but anyway.
Jokes on him. Dave was in the audience. He didn't even see that.
I didn't know that. That's great.
Oh no, damn.
It was in like San Francisco or whatever. That's where he lives.
Anyway, by the last 20 minutes of the timed part of it, I was completely enthralled. I was actively thinking, man, this is spectacular. And basically, it started with the two pins right in a row after the low blow. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. You know, even though it's not an earth-shattering move in an Iron Man match. It kind of makes sense.
It goes against one of my things. It's a WWE move where you get back-to-back pins real quick, and I was like, but it was a low blow. It was something I didn't see coming, and I hadn't seen before. So I was like, okay, let's just see where it goes.
By the time the overtime came on, I was completely on the edge of my seat.
Damn.
Completely on the edge of my seat. I popped a couple times real big by myself at noon on a Monday because I'm 43, but on the knee from because remember I picked Danielson on the knee when Danielson hit MJF with the knee with 5 minutes left. I was like, that's it. I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, here we go. I was like, Danielson's about to win. And then he kicked out of it, and then the oxygen tank, and then I started thinking about all the times he went back to water, and I was like, of course, and they shot it really well.
Yeah.
They shot it really well because
ground level.
It is wrestling and it is a show, and they shot it really well. It was dramatic, and when you saw the oxygen tank, you were like,
"Motherfucker,
it's over." Like I think Jason said, the labella lock was a perfect cherry on top. 5 stars. I don't know if it's the best MJF match. Bar none. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, Punk dog collar match would if you forced me to say one match of MJF was the best match I've ever seen, would be the dog collar match against Punk.
Best Iron Man match of all time? No doubt. I mean, it's case closed. It was exciting from beginning to end, and like Zach said, that Bret Hart Shawn Michaels one is boring as fuck. I mean, I think I watched it over the pandemic because I was like, But that's 0-0, right? Until the very end. Doesn't Bret Hart win 1-0?
No, it's 2-1, I believe. It's 1-1. They both get a pin, and then it goes into sudden death, and then you get the backfire of the roll up.
As far as the best AEW match of all time or the best AEW pay-per-view of all time, I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. We did this remember when wrestling was a little bit slower and we started doing the NXT TakeOver do-overs, and there were matches. There was like that Gargano Andrade match that everybody forgot about, and we went through it, and we were like, God damn. I think it was Dallas, and we were all like, holy shit.
Yep, forgot about that.
There probably are some pay-per-views that I'm forgetting about or matches, but I'll say this. They couldn't have done it any better. If they were going to have MJF go over, this was the way to do it. MJF is made now, and I will gladly eat my shit from him when he calls me a neckbeard next week at his rebar mitzvah.
I won't say this is the second match. Well, I will say this. The match I thought was the match of the night before the main event was the Texas Death Match between Hangman Page and Jon Moxley. Obviously,
incredible.
We had a really good build leading up to this where both guys had taken matches. Moxley had taken the quote-unquote tiebreaker in a spectacular fashion, and obviously that just wasn't enough. I'll just say this. I don't really cringe or get squeamish when I watch wrestling, even when I know blood is coming up. When Moxley took that fork to Hangman's head, and I'm not saying that the fork caused the color. If it did, great. If Hangman, bladed himself, cool too.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
It's wrestling.
That was one of them times I was
the
like,
fork did it.
Oh.
Right.
I'm like, hang on, God damn, wait. I'm like, dude, you eat with that shit. You don't impale motherfucking skull with that shit. That was the one time where I was like, okay, this shit started. Even at the end where, Hangman's hanging, literally fucking Jon Moxley. I was just like, okay, I've seen this before, no big deal. You might want to tab, Mox. This might be the end of life. I thought this was really well done. In a situation where I felt like this was a match that Hangman needed to win to get back on track. Wardlow is somebody that we'll talk about in a second that's going the opposite way. I thought this was a match that Hangman needed to win to show that he could stay with Jon Moxley in a scenario where this is something that Moxley should win. It's a no-holds-barred kind of match. Moxley should win this match 9 times out of 10, but this is the one time where Hangman Page could step up to the plate and beat Jon Moxley at his own game. This was at least getting Hangman back on track. I'm not calling him to win the AEW championship for a while because it looks like MJF's going to hold on to this motherfucker for a little bit. But this match at least got Hangman Page back on track. It's one of the few times where I would, as long as we all eating crow, I'm not a huge believer of the Bills' theory of you can heat somebody up at any given point. This is a really good start. If you're going to heat Hangman Page back up, this is a really good start of doing it.
That's more of a WWE thing, but I get your point. Zach, what do you think about this match?
We're going to just continue in the superlative territory here. I don't know, probably best Texas Death Match I've seen. We're talking about best Iron Man match. I'd be hard-pressed to come up with another Texas Death Match. I mean, Page was doing a bunch of them there for a while, kicking ass and having a good time, but this thing was excellent. I fucking loved this match, and I'm not even too big of a fan of, the brutal stuff, but, they did it so well, and there was just so many fun spots where I'm just like, I can't believe these motherfuckers are doing this, the fork, Abdul the Butcher is super fun to watch. Moxley pulling the fork out and then using it while he's in the triangle. He's connecting. Moxley's an actually really good technical wrestler. You saw it on Dynamite here and you've seen the G1. He pulls out all these really fun MMA holds and then he takes a fork to a guy's head while he's doing it. That shit is awesome. They were just, all the barbed wire stuff. and
The
the
brick?
crowd was silly, man.
The brick, yeah.
Yeah, the brick. Oh my God!
They
I
got
thought
really
for sure
creative
he was
with
gonna-
a brick.
Right.
He's like Merv from Home Alone. But I thought for sure he was going to dead eye him on that brick. Like when they stood the brick
Yeah.
up vertically, that was the scariest. I think that was
Yeah.
the most scared I've ever been in a wrestling match.
Yeah, I was like,
thought
don't
for
do
sure
it.
he was
I
gonna
was like,
do it.
don't do it with the
Yep.
brick standing up. I was like, come on, guys.
Right. Let's
You know-
we talking motherfuckers off the ledge. and
Pick up the
shit.
fork. Pick up the fork. Pick the fork back up.
Right.
Not with the brick.
Right. We'll take the fork.
Sir, put down the brick.
I'm
Grab
gonna
the
need you
fork.
to pick the fork back up, please. Thank you. Thank you. Continue to
Dude.
impale him.
Sometimes like they'll set something up, like wrestlers in a death match will set something up, and you just know that they're not going to do it, right? It's just there to feel like, oh my God, what if they did it? I thought that there was a chance that they were going to do that, and I was scared to death. And I should have known better, but oh my God, these guys are going all out. The power bomb from the top rope, where it looked like he was going to send them onto the backs of the chairs that were set back to back, but instead he just happened to slam them through regular chairs covered in barbed wire.
Whatever.
Dude, there was a moment where Moxley got thrown through the barbed wire covered table outside, and then the camera zooms up on him, and he goes, "Ooh boy, ooh boy." Oh man, I loved it. It was, like Jason said, it was my favorite match up until that point. I will rewatch that match fondly if we ever have the opportunity to get some kind of streaming service where we can do that. But yeah, awesome match.
I totally forgot about that.
Mega fun match. With apologies to Eddie Kingston for using some insider terms here.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Moxley doesn't do the honors a whole lot in AEW. Moxley doesn't lose a whole lot in AEW.
He is the ace of AEW.
I don't know what was supposed to happen in that match where Hangman unfortunately got knocked out in that very scary end of Dynamite. But Moxley put Page over hard, big in this match. And the ending with Moxley getting hung by the Hangman, it didn't even occur to me until right now that the Hangman hung him. But Moxley tapping out right away, just like he should have. It was just a perfect ending to, dare I say, a perfect match. I mean, it wasn't the best match of the night, and that is saying something because it fucking ruled. And that's not even, we haven't even gotten to the third best match of the night, which also on any other card would have been the match of the night. But man, what a card. Jason.
And we haven't talked about it, so I'm just going with my personal opinion. The third best match of the night was the trios match between House of Black and the Elite. House of Black, for me, has been one of those trios. It's the faction, whatever you want to call it, has been stopped for whatever reason, whether it's creative or otherwise, where Aleister Black has to get his head right. Buddy Matthews is MIA or whatever the case may be, yada, yada, yada. All that frustration was completely eliminated watching this match. This is why when I heard Trios titles was coming to AEW, I was totally excited about it because the way the AEW style sets up for crazy Trios matches, and this was just more of the same. House of Black goes over, which I have no problem with. I picked the Elite because I just had to see it for myself. I just wasn't sure that TK was going to pull the trigger on it, which it's a great move. The Elite are over. The House of Black is over, but we just need to see them, going for a sustained period of time. On Wednesday, they have the triple threat set up with the Elite, House of Black, and Jericho Appreciation Society. My head was getting ready to explode just the thought of what's getting ready to happen with that. So, I mean, House of Black is once again.
Sammy Guevara is going to bump. That's
okay.
what's going to happen.
I'm like, what the
They're going to throw Sammy Guevara off the scaffolding.
I'm like, man, somebody get ready to get fucked up on next Wednesday night. But House of Black is another one of those trios, factions, whatever you want to call it, they needed some traction. TK needed to show me that he's at least somewhat serious about making them legitimate, credible, whatever you want to call it. This was an amazing match. I loved it from start to finish. House of Black just, I wouldn't say dominated at the end, but just really looked strong. They looked like a team that could beat the Elite on any given night, and that's what I needed to see. This was really, really good.
Two Beer.
Yeah, this was a fantastic trios match. I think kind of the big takeaway was that this was like a showcase match for the House of Black. They gave them the majority of the match. This was not a kind of a hard fought, even though, you know, Bucks and Kenny did a bunch of cool stuff. But, I mean, this was a showcase for House of Black and really kind of a passing of the torch, more so than any of the other matches that we've seen in the trios league here. But, you know, it was funny they started off with Kenny and Buddy Matthews, and, you know, that was like it was like a nod to, like, you know, I think even Excalibur said something like, oh, you know, Buddy Matthews has been heavily influenced by Kenny Omega, which just means, like, he does a lot of his moves. And, like, he saw, you know, we got those guys, and then we saw Aleister Black, Aleister, Jesus Christ, what's his name? Malachi Black.
Malachi.
They played that up like a potential, like, big, like, singles match, which I thought was very cool because that is a potential big singles match. But yeah, this was just, I think the star of the entire match was Brody King, which I particularly enjoyed because he gets bumped up about 500 levels in my book because he's the only wrestler who's on I Think You Should Leave. So that's why he's one of my favorite wrestlers. But yeah, they took most of the match, passing of the torch. Very fun match also, just like pure. This trio's title has been almost like because of its lineage, it's almost like a high-speed tag title where it's just been like bonkers, off-the-wall matches. And now this upcoming Dynamite is like must-see television. So yeah, I mean, the death match, the main event, an absolute fantastic kind of trifecta for this pay-per-view, and that's what this pay-per-view will be remembered for, even though there was other really good stuff on the pay-per-view, but
there was
absolutely standout matches.
There was, you know, I think I said this last week. This is what happens when you go last. Like, this was, to me, this showcased Brody King more than anybody else. He looked like a fucking beast, and he looked like, I was like, oh man, like he could, you know, challenge for the big belt at some time. Also, like that's how badass he looked. Buddy Matthews and Kenny Omega, it was like that Spider-Man gif where they're just pointing at each other, you know. Obviously, Kenny Omega's I mean, now listen, I'm just saying.
No. Just because you dressed alike don't mean you could do the same things.
Buddy Matthews is really, really fucking good.
Yes.
We've talked about it since 205 Live.
Yes.
How great he is. Oh, man, he had this match on 205 Live.
Without question.
He fucking rules. So, but I'm not going to give him the Grandpa Biff, young Biff comparison. I'm just saying I would watch those guys fight forever. I would have watched this match a long time. It was a showcase for House of Black. The Trios title to me is now, in my head, is at a higher estimation than the tag titles. I mean, if you're going to have the Trios titles, is going to be the Lucha Brothers and Pac, and then it's a best of 7, and it's Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and then it's House of Black. All of a sudden, I'm like, well, these are where the big boys play. I mean, this fucking, I mean, especially when you think about the tag.
Is that because the Guns are the tag team champions?
I mean, yes, it absolutely is. It absolutely is because the Guns are the tag champions. There's not much you can say about this. Malachi Black looked incredible in this. The Black Mass still looks great. Like he really hits it every fucking time.
Looks like he's taking somebody's head off every fucking time.
Also,
Jesus.
we haven't even mentioned the Bucks. The Bucks were their incredible selves throughout this entire match. What a banger! But it's almost a victim. The elite are almost a victim of their own success at this point because they just did a best of 7 where every single match topped itself, and it's just like, okay, well, this is always must-see TV. I'm gonna watch the trio shit all the time until it's the Guns and their dad that win it or something like a year from now.
You ain't shit. God damn.
That's happening.
Yeah.
Every time I see the Bucks, I'm like, yep, they're the best. And every time I see Nick Jackson, I'm like, yep, he's better than Shawn Michaels, which is fucking insane.
Dude,
but
okay,
all
right.
I did see some
stand
people on
by it.
Twitter calling the Bucks a one-trick pony, which
That's
is
just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I've ever heard in my life.
it offended me. But what else do you?
I'm just now catching
as
up.
a pony.
Yeah. We'll just start at the top. Ricky Starks beats Chris Jericho. Once again, a homegrown talent. I think, and Ricky Starks wins is a good thing. Chris Jericho is made, obviously. No problem with that. Christian Cage loses to Jungle Boy in I'll just call it the final burial alive match. Coffin match, whatever you want to call it. I said it on Twitter when I was watching it. I think we just saw Jungle Boy grow up right here. He had to do what he had to do. He did it.
It was a great match.
The coffin slam where the coffin flops down, and we've all seen it.
He said coffin
Did
flop.
somebody say coffin flop? Some people say coffin flop's not a show. They said that
I don't
to
know
me.
what to tell you, bud.
I didn't do shit. They said that to me at a dinner.
I don't know if that was planned or not, but if it wasn't planned,
it was planned.
If it wasn't planned, that was just amazing. If it was planned, then it is what it is. But either way, it was a nice little cherry on top of the match where Jungle Boy finally gets his proper win over Christian Cage. Somebody said proper win to me the other day when I was talking about how I wasn't into this match, and I was like, okay, well then fuck it, let's just see what happens. Jungle Boy wins. He should have won. The way he won it, like I said, you saw the.
It was a good end for a feud.
The week before he hesitated.
5-year-long feud.
The week before he hesitated pulling the trigger, and it cost him. At Revolution, he did hesitate. He did what he had to do, and obviously won the match. The women's three-way, you had Saraya versus Ruby Soho versus the champion, Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter wins, pins Ruby Soho, and then the switch happens. God bless Ruby Soho. I'm not even going to say that she flipped on Jamie Hayter. That it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say I called it or saw this shit coming. I honestly popped when I was like, oh shit, you got kicked in the face. God damn it. So of course I'm a little mad because I'm a Jamie Hayter mark. But just to kind of preview Dynamite, Ruby Soho has been the only one that at least has made sense of the heel turn. Saraya and Tony just flipped heel for just whatever reason. Connect the dots. Ruby Soho at least said, hey, this is the reason why I'm pissed at you motherfuckers.
Her promo on Dynamite was really good. Really good. Yeah.
And at least what made me was like, okay.
In kayfabe style, it didn't really make sense why she went through the whole match and then turned at the end. Is it because she got so pissed off that she couldn't beat Jamie Hayter?
That strikes 2 and 3 in the words of Ricky Bobby.
Okay, then why? I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. They were in a really tough spot. Wardlow and Samoa Joe were in a really tough spot coming after I think Samoa Joe and Wardlow came right after Hangman and Moxley.
Yep.
And the women's match came right after the trios match.
Yep.
Both really tough spots because there were no popcorn matches, and so shit gets turned into popcorn matches, or like we like to call them around here, shower matches.
I knew you motherfuckers were going to say that shit.
But real quick, before we get too far into it, I want to give the point totals for predictions last week because that's what we do around here. Coming in first, Jason Cornelius Bell with 10 points. Nice job, Jason Cornelius Bell.
Appreciate you.
Coming in second with 8 points was Two Beer Zach Pullman. Okay, what's next, Jason?
Don't want to take it. Don't want to take it down. No, okay.
Coming in
Real
last.
quick,
Coming in last
before
with
you-
6 points.
Yeah, that's that Brian Danielson pick. So you should have just jumped on the bandwagon.
Zach and I also put the guns, which I guess is where, unless there's something else you guys want to say about Joe and Wardlow, or
We haven't even talked about it yet.
what's okay.
Say, I
Okay,
really
and
enjoyed-
I think you're kind of making my point.
It was just a breather match. I mean, it's hard. It's impossible for them to follow up.
I'm not saying it was impossible to follow up, but just, I don't know.
This is the second
6 months ago, 9 months ago, Wardlow was arguably the hottest babyface in wrestling. Not in AEW, in wrestling. You had crowds chanting his fucking name.
He got cooled off.
Okay, so part of the reason why maybe it was just kind of like, Hey, Joe is hot as hell. Okay, Joe is not one of the hotter baby faces in AEW. I love the King of TV fucking gimmick he's got going on. It's giving Joe his, I won't say his flowers. We'll give him his props. I would say we're giving him his props. So he's on a nice little roll, and Wardlow is is on the complete opposite. He's now starting to get built back up. I wasn't even sure that I even wanted Wardlow to win, just because I like Joe so much right now. Wardlow should win, but I like Joe so much that I probably like some other people that wasn't from California, because Samoa Joe is from Southern California, so that's basically his home court. I can understand why some people.
I think he's from Samoa. Like, it's right there in his name.
I understand why some people were upset that he lost the match. Okay, he shouldn't lose at quote unquote home court, whatever.
Who was upset that he lost the match?
There's going to be some people that are just going to be homers. My bigger point is that Samoa Joe is so hot right now, and Wardlow is just starting. They didn't even build Wardlow back up to get to the point where now you feel like he should have won it. When he won, it was just kind of like, okay, I guess it makes sense.
That's part of it.
But the problem is Wardlow wasn't built back up to where now you feel like he's on the level of where Joe is.
That's part of it, definitely. But I'm saying this, is that a better wrestler versus Samoa Joe could have gotten the crowd back. Listen, Wardlow was super hot. He's just not that. I mean, he's not a technical master. Like, it's not even a slight on him. It's just like, you're right. They should have struck while the iron was hot. But the reason that match felt like such a breather is because it's a plotting style between those two. Not necessarily between Joe. Joe can fight anybody. Wardlow fights in a slow, plotting style. He's not a high-energy guy. For better or for worse. That's Zach, what do you think?
I don't know about all that.
Oh, you think he's Timothy Thatcher out there?
He's not. He was never meant to be. He was squashing motherfuckers left and right. You acting like he was Zack Sabre Jr. for like 9 months, and then all of a sudden, now he's not.
No. That's not what I'm saying. You
said technical. You said Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher is not Wardlow, and he's not going to be. Wardlow's claim to fame was stomping motherfuckers out.
Right, and I said that's part of it. I was giving you your flowers there. I was I was all based about that drip, but what I'm saying is that that Wardlow.
I wish that was for smoking weed. I would spit that beer in his face.
I wrote down drip earlier as the new slang that you will never hear me say. But I'm just saying, like, that they could have gotten the crowd back. It's a tough spot for a match like for a Wardlow match to be in, to go after that Hangman Moxley. If they would have opened up the show with Joe and Wardlow, it might not have been the splashiest opener, but the crowd would have been way hotter, is what I'm saying. It was a tough place in the card. There's no argument against that. If you would have put the
tag team match instead of this, it would have been the same reaction.
I agree.
So it's not just
no, it wouldn't have been the same reaction.
No,
not with Danhausen.
Dude,
Danhausen and Cassidy are over, man. Okay. listen, we don't have to belabor the point.
Okay.
Zach, what do you think?
Match, I don't really have much to say about. As far as the dynamic, Jason mentioned how Samoa Joe is over as a babyface, which is true, but he's positioned as a heel.
No. I'm saying in San Francisco, okay, it'll be like Randy Orton losing in St. Louis when he lost to Jinder.
From San Diego. That's 8 hours away.
I don't think that matters. I just think people like Samoa Joe more than they like
small point, very small point. The bigger point is that they didn't build Wardlow back up to where now you feel like he should be fucking with Joe.
Can't spell Jason Bell without 2 L's. What's coming? He's staring.
That was.
The motherfucker's wrong with you? Hang on, man. Hang on. Repeat who just won this week.
He can't spell Bill without 2 either. That's
Okay, motherfucker. That's what you should have said. You motherfucker.
Can't spell Zach Pullman without 1.
He came in second, man. He beat you.
That's 1 L.
Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry. He was talking shit. I was just like, look, man, hang on. What you mean 2 L's? What you mean 1 L, nigga?
I will say I really enjoyed the Christian Jungle Boy match. It was exactly what it should have been. Really glad that Ricky Starks won, but like, I don't know what you do with him. I don't know what you do with Jungle Boy, especially with Hobbs winning. I feel like maybe you have one of those guys win Cassidy's belt. There's so many belts to go around. You feel like you should have like something for him. But what are you gonna do with these guys is the key. But no, just back to that, like people just like Samoa Joe more than they like Wardlow, and I think that is the problem. Is because, like you said, Wardlow was super hot, and honestly, I think you blame Max and you blame CM Punk for that because. Max did his whole like weird shit that weekend that he jobbed to Wardlow. Wardlow should be fucking fighting for that title. The last time we saw Wardlow and Max in the ring, Max was destroyed. Like that alone should be like they should just be heating him up so that he can challenge for the belt. I'm not saying he wins it. I absolutely don't think he's AEW World Champion material. But
Not
as far
right
as
now,
a contender, like a dude that would be a legitimate threat to Max, like in kayfabe, like I don't know why they're not positioning that. Like having him win that TNT belt and then lose it, I get why they did it, but it's just I don't know. It is funny to me.
I don't get why they did it.
Something. Well, I guess they just didn't want Hobbs to beat Joe because they're both supposed to be heels, right? They wanted like a baby face. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think that's why. I'm not saying it's like good. I kind of like at least understand the reasoning, even if I don't agree with it. I think you can do face, heel, and it's fine. But anyway, I also like the women's match. I thought it overachieved. I was actually pleasantly surprised with that. But the Ruby Riott turn was like very mad to me, and also like I know you guys. Like her promo, and I think her delivery was really good, but her kayfabe reasoning, the same fucking shit we see all the time. Like, I did this because of the fans, and I'm like, that's so fucking, just reminds me of that Becky Lynch heel term, like, because of the fans. They're all cheering her. Like, she's like, oh, you guys booed me, and they're, like, literally cheering her as she's, like, doing the promo. It's fucking ridiculous. But she did a good job. She got some boos.
She got a lot of boos.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. Let's not undersell that shit. She was getting booed.
I don't like the because of the fans line. I just feel like it's lazy.
No. She brought up Chris Statlander. She brought up the Chris Statlander match when she beat Chris Statlander, and the crowd booed the shit out of her. Yeah. And then post match, that's why I was just like, yeah, I remember that.
It's kind of a. What's funny is it's just kind of a bummer for her because it's kind of true in her case.
Right.
They really did shit on her.
They booed the dog shit out that woman.
I mean, listen, I don't agree with Two Beer here, but, like, I will say, like, if you're of the belief that blaming the fans is lazy and you're sick of it as a trope, that's fine with me. Like I have no argument with that. It doesn't really bother me so much because you're trying to get heat. But I mean, if that's your take, that's completely fine. I will say that. Did you say her delivery wasn't good, or you say her delivery was good?
No, I said her delivery was good, and she got good reaction from it. So I mean, it all succeeded. I was just disappointed because I just heard that so many times.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. And then the only match that we haven't talked about is the tag team match, which I'll tell you what, this one really sucked the air. It was the only time the air got sucked out of the room. The crowd was disappointed when the guns went over. And that is not heat, everybody. That is X-Pac heat. That is go away heat. That the air got sucked out of the room. That crowd would have taken any other team winning that belt except for the Guns.
They'd have popped for Jeff Jarrett.
I was getting ready to say, I wasn't sure if you. That's the only one. That's just probably my hatred of Jeff Jarrett.
Can we say that Jeff Jarrett was great in this match?
Oh my God, he was so good.
He was so good in this match.
I will not.
I would go so far as to say he was the best part of this match.
What the fuck? Danhausen was really good in this match. Danhausen was good.
Yeah.
Danhausen was really fun.
Okay, I'll concede that.
Of the night, he was wearing like some blouse, some color, so good. Anyway,
we don't have to. We'll get to Dynamite later, but this was a disappointing finish, and not just because I picked the Guns third to last or second. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not just because I picked them. That crowd was ready to erupt for the Acclaimed, or erupt for Cassidy and Danhausen, or boo Jarrett and Lethal. I guess they're calling him Triple J. Whatever.
Ugh.
It's really bad.
Gross.
It's not naturally limitless bad, but it's pretty bad.
What? That's bad.
That they don't have any heat. They have go away heat. Nobody likes them. Everybody likes their dad more. They're not. I'll tell you what. Their dad's not doing them any favors by being a babyface against them either. You agree with that?
Honestly, it's
I
not
think
even.
this was the time to turn Billy. If you were gonna have the Guns go over,
Would have been way different. Would have been a way different reaction in the room. And by the way, the crowd was incredible. Just an incredible crowd
From start to finish.
the whole night.
Yeah, they really were. And we'll get to Raw later, but that was also a great crowd. I don't know where Raw was, but I forget. But anyway, so we're gonna do it again. We're going to say, Zach, go ahead and give me your grade for AEW Revolution 2023.
A.
Jason.
Agreed.
Wow. Yep, I'll give it an A. It was tremendous.
What you mean, wow, man?
Well,
Royal Rumble was shit, and I'll stand on that shit. I'll stand on it.
You gave it like an H+.
C minus.
You gave it like an H+ or something?
C minus. I will stand on it to this day.
Fucking insane.
To this day.
Okay, that's fine. So, like I told you guys, I'm doing a running total now of Beefer Awards. There was one match of the year Beefer that I put here just as a contender, and I think that this is one of those pay-per-views I don't want to forget by the end of the year when we start talking about pay-per-view of the year.
It can get lost in the shuffle for sure.
I don't want to, and that's natural because it's going to be 10 months from now or 11 months from now, or 10 or 9 or 10 months. But this was a tremendous pay-per-view. It made me think I should start watching more of them sober, and then I was like, nah.
What are you, stupid? I was with Zach on this. I was kind of like, I don't know, but in the back of my mind, I was like, AEW usually does a good fucking job when it comes to the pay-per-view portion of their program.
The story, really, it all comes down to the main event. The storytelling of the main event, the story progression from the main event for one of your main characters of MJF, the actual enjoyment of watching the main event.
The execution of the match.
Yeah, thank you. Not just the meta or the semi-meta of like what you think about the story going on, but just thinking about the execution of it. couldn't have been better. Can we talk just real quick? Can we talk about MJF throwing the water on the kid? Was that okay? So
tequila.
The tequila on the kid.
Well, I thought it was water too.
I have seen people that are like, that was probably set up,
right?
Because the mom's reaction. For those of you that might have missed it, because I missed it the first time watching.
No, I saw that shit immediately. I was like,
it was about 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in,
give or take. Yeah,
and
it was fairly early.
MJF is kind of walking around, being a dick, just selling it, And there's a kid sitting down with a belt around, and he's got his hood, a little black kid with his mom standing right there. And I don't know why MJF got mad at him, but he grabbed, and the mom wasn't doing anything either, and they were sitting in the front row. He grabbed the drink and kind of threw it on the kid's belt. Like, he didn't throw it in the kid's face. The kid had the hood pulled way down over his face, so you couldn't even see the kid. The mom's reaction was very over the top.
Yes, and that's why I think a lot of people are like, this was a plant.
It was a plant, right?
The facial expression for the guy in the room that doesn't have kids. If you're going to take my Budweiser, because I wouldn't be drinking tequila, if you're going to take my Budweiser or my Mountain Dew or whatever the fuck I want to drink at that point, I just said it because you say I don't drink Mountain Dew, but I have a case of Mountain Dew.
I'd be way more pissed off about him throwing my $15 drink in my kid's face.
Okay. I wish a motherfucker would. Man,
somebody actually posted the price of a double tequila at that venue, and it was over $20.
I wish a motherfucker would, and on my child too.
But there wasn't that much in it.
Shit.
I honestly don't know where I am on this. I don't know if it was a work or not, because somebody filmed a person from AEW walking up to the kid in between matches and giving him a bunch of merch, and they said that the kid came back and met Powerhouse Hobbs. I watched the clip from the press conference where MJF addressed it and Tony Khan addressed it. I
didn't see that.
MJF's I forget, the kid's name was Titus, and Tony Khan's Max and I had a very serious conversation. We take this very seriously. I still can't tell if it's a work or not, and you know what? I love that.
I love that. I am 100% I totally think that it could have been legitimate, just because I totally think that a Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who's super rich and 26 and at the top of pro wrestling, living his dream, has incredibly bad judgment.
There's that too.
Yes.
Yes.
I can see it being
real. Ja Morant.
There's that too, and the thing is that I think if it was a work, he probably would have splashed it in the kid's face or poured it over his. But it's he went to do it, and he knew that what he was doing he shouldn't have done it, so he kind of threw it lower on the kid's body,
right,
instead of in the kid's face,
right.
I honestly, I don't
know either.
If I was a betting man, I don't know what I would bet on. I guess I would bet on it being real.
I agree. What you just said totally makes sense. So I have my beer in my hand, and the makeshift ashtray is the little boy. Right here is where MJF is I probably shouldn't be doing this,
right?
But I'm already in,
and he went down
low instead of going into the face. If it was not a human, but an adult human, it would have been in the face and then deal with the consequences afterwards. That was probably the one MJF flickering moment of just being a decent human. I'm gonna throw it in your fucking lap.
I'll say this though, if it was a work, incredible.
Yeah,
just incredible.
Got me, because I was like, motherfucker, how you gonna let this dude walk away?
I've watched the 5-second GIF probably 100 times, and I've watched the longer video of it probably 5 times. I don't know. I really don't.
Back and to the left.
Back. Now that's one magic tequila. Let's get to that 2 count.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, y'all wrong.
2 beer. What's a 2 count?
we'll talk about WWE main roster because that shit has been fire lately for the most part. And let's talk about SmackDown. Opens up with this is just a great week of wrestling. Like,
this is weird. He's doing WWE. I don't
it was
right
dope.
No. It feels like usually I do WWE. He does AEW. I thought he was going to do Dynamite, piggyback off that shit. That's okay, man. Do WWE, player.
He's a professional. He knows we need a breather from it.
Okay, do your thing, nigga. Do your thing.
It was real good. Started off SmackDown. I didn't get to watch SmackDown until this week, actually, because my weekends are very busy. You know, I just have a lot of sexual obligations, and it's just
damn it, Tara, can you give the man a break?
I know, it's just exhausting. I'm dehydrated.
Okay,
I don't know.
Little piece of meat over there.
Yeah, but anyway, so I finally got to watch it, and it opened with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And dude, these guys are just two pros. This was like something that I think we might talk about next year at the Beefers, as far as like an interchange.
I already put an asterisk on it. It was like that. Roman Reigns be like, nah, you ain't gonna be taking my promo of the year title next year, motherfucker. You gonna at least talk about me.
Yeah, so starts with like Cody, asking him to send away the bloodline, unless you think you need him. And then it was like a legitimate face-to-face.
He told you.
And, then Cody did the thing where he built up Roman, which Roman doesn't necessarily need built up, but he builds him up as this like impossible mountain to climb, basically like then runs down his pedigree, but not in the sense of like championships. Like, he built up his underdog pedigree, which I thought was incredibly clever of Cody, because he is an underdog in the situation, and he's the underdog babyface. And he's saying, everybody's doubted me. I was like never going to get out of Orton's shadow, never going to survive Stardust. My friends and I couldn't draw 10,000 fans to our little indie show that, we actually drove up to Chicago to see.
No shit.
So we were all there. And, this is just like the next in line of like impossible things that he's gonna do. And I thought that was excellent. And then Roman Reigns claps back with another excellent promo.
Lord have mercy.
And like, basically,
hang on. I don't want to cut you off. I got to do this for 30 seconds. I hate to cut you off. When Roman threw down the belts,
it was the best part.
In front of him, he's like, "So, what do you want to talk about?" I was like, now it's on. That's the evolution of Roman Reigns right there. 3-4 years ago, he would have never been able to do that shit, and we would have never been able to invest in that shit because we would have never believed it. He was so corny as a fucking baby face, and this fucking run of the head of the table, the tribal chief, with this heel run made that moment so unbelievably dope. I was just like, well, damn.
You know who he was in that moment? He was John Cena delivering a promo to a young Roman Reigns. Like, that's how he's evolved.
I'm not gonna go that far because young Roman Reigns is nowhere near as good as Cody is right now. But
no, but what I mean is
point.
Like the confidence level.
Yes, for sure. Like, it's totally come full circle.
Kid, you're gonna need to learn how to do one if you're gonna be this top guy.
Yes,
that kind of shit.
Yes. Okay, now you can take that little clip and show, this clip, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, whomever.
I'm just gonna say that's not the first time that John Cena promo will be referenced in this podcast.
Not even in this two count.
Right?
Yeah, in this two count.
Yeah. I was about to say, it looks kind of familiar, huh?
I have thoughts.
Just to describe Reigns' promo, like, I love that he, was so cocky. He congratulated Cody on practicing this promo all week, which is very funny because we know that Cody does that. And it's obvious he's so practiced at it. And we just know that that's something that he does. And, like you said, throwing on the belt saying, like, you ever won one of these? You ever even competed for one of these?
I'm like, man, you need to punch this motherfucker.
I'm not even smiling. I think it was the best promo of Roman's career.
I'm like, you need to put. I'm like, at that point, I'm mad for Cody. I'm like, okay. What you mean? What you say?
I hate to get caught up in the superlatives, but I think it was the best promo of Roman's career. I was anticipating that promo exchange being like, this is not going to deliver. It's not going to do. I think that I was the one on this podcast that said, I wouldn't mind if they just kept each other away from each other until WrestleMania and just had to be Heyman versus Cody.
Yeah.
I need to stop doubting
I'm
these
glad it
motherfuckers.
wasn't.
Me too.
We also desperately needed that road, impersonation from Reigns, which was, not only was that so good and so funny, but then he led into, you told me all these things. Like, you know what he used to say about you? Nothing.
Man, it was
so good.
Fuck.
Like, see, now you need to punch this motherfucker, dog.
Now, I don't know if they need to talk again before WrestleMania, because I think that was good enough, maybe for a go-home show on Raw or something like that, because they
need to face each other one more time.
We know the go-home show of SmackDown is never anything. It's always just vignettes and
whatever. It's a night before night one.
By the way, the vignette of that promo on Raw, where they intercut stuff with Cody and Ted DiBiase and
Legacy.
Thank you. And Stardust and everything, it was like,
damn.
It gave me chills. Yeah. I was like, this is so badass. Let's get to it. This
is why I said last week, it is no knock against Sammy. It's not.
No, I am.
This is the Cody Rhodes story.
I am psyched for this match.
You should be. Okay, damn it. This is going to be. If we can milk one more promo out of this, it would be great. If not, that's fine. If you can leave it at this, and I will still be ready for the match.
We've seen
Sunday.
3 pay-per-view matches with Cody since he came to WWE. All 3 of them were Seth Rollins, who's a great worker. All 3 of them were incredible. 2 of them were finalists for me for WWE Match of the Year. I am very much looking forward to I think they have a pretty good idea of what they want to do with it. I don't know if they know who's going to win. I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to throw it out there because it's been on my mind today after I saw the Puerto Rico announcement. I think it was yesterday, where the next 3 pay-per-view matches after WrestleMania are going to be Puerto Rico for Backlash in a stadium, Riyadh for King and Queen of the Ring, and then the 3rd pay-per-view after WrestleMania
is in London. I thought
it's Money in the Bank.
It's in
in the UK.
Right.
Are they really going to have 3 stadium events without Roman Reigns as champion? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. It seems strange to me. So I'm just throwing a little bit of doubt into your guys' head because we don't have picks until our 300th show, which is a couple weeks from now. But I didn't mean to hijack your count, but I really do think that this was Roman Reigns' best promo of his life.
No, you're fine. I think that you're probably right. I can't think of a better one off the top of my head except for his 5-word promo of "It's My Yard Now." But the only other one.
That was the one I keep thinking of, but
that's all.
This is more nuanced.
Only 4 words.
Shit, yeah. It's the best 4 words you ever said.
4 words.
But I mean, it's the Roman Reigns promo of the year for the Beefer. I mean, that's no. I was pissing. I'm sure Zach said it, but I mean, there's a reason it's called that, because he's the best promo in the history of wrestling.
That kicked that motherfucker off.
When we called it the Beefer for the Roman Reigns Beefer for promo of the year, it was ironic because his best promo was him not saying anything and just getting booed. Yeah, and it's actually come around full circle to where he's like a tremendous, fucking almost perfect promo.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it later, but I'll say this right now. He's a better promo than Cena's ever been.
Ooh. All right. So we had domination from the
the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley defeated Liv Morgan, and just hard to not think about how hot both of those women are. And I'm a feminist. But then we had Dominic Mysterio defeating Santos Escobar, which it's funny because Santos Escobar, his like whole NXT run was a heel, and he's like a really good heel. And then I was like, now as a babyface, like even though he lost, like his moveset's very babyface. I was like, this is kind of cool.
People want to cheer him.
Yeah,
it might
exactly.
be the Dom and Ray factor, but people want. I'll tell you what though.
Might be the Dom factor. You say.
I'm going to be pissed off though if for some reason Ray doesn't fight Dom at WrestleMania and like
what
and put Santo Escobar up there as his proxy or something. I'm just saying if they do something stupid like that, I'm not going to like it.
Okay, Dom won on Friday. Dom is in Ray's face. Hit me. It'd be different if Santos won this match. I would at least give you benefit of the doubt.
Listen,
I can't.
It's our podcast. I thought I could
it is.
I thought I could say my feelings.
I did. I didn't yell at you.
Don't yell at me.
Right? In 298 episodes, you know if I'm coming at you or not.
Don't yell at me, mommy. So they did set up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, I was. That's it for those. But they had Drew come out and challenge Gunther, which I think, Brock's not facing Gunther. Like Drew is like the next best thing. Like that match is going to be low key, maybe match of the night, depending on whichever night it's on.
Oh, I think we're getting a triple threat. I think
with Sheamus.
With Sheamus, yeah. Because they're having a
five-way, yeah. That's what I was getting ready to say. You stole my thunder. Go ahead.
And LA Knight is part of it. So let's just have it.
No, it's good to see.
Let's just have them all. It's because it's LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus,
Karrion Kross, and
Kofi Kingston as the five-way to see who is facing Gunther at WrestleMania. So who do you think is going to go over there, Zach?
Who's going to go over in which match?
In the five-way, yeah. Do you think it's going to be a triple threat, or do you think we're getting a one-on-one match with Gunther?
Triple threat probably sounds more likely. Give those guys a payday, and plus, like Sheamus and Gunther had this amazing match, like so. I think we have that going.
Honestly, as much as and I would love this, there's no wrong answer. Ultimately, where I'm starting to think about it, there's no wrong answer. Gunther versus Drew would be a great match. Gunther versus Drew versus Gunther, or versus Gunther versus
that
Drew
would
versus
be something.
yeah, right? Yeah, I say there's the Spider-Man, pointing at each other.
You think the Gunthers might team up on Gunther?
Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus would be just as good. There's no wrong answer. I agree with Two Beer on this one. I think you're going to want to have Sheamus on. Both guys have some beef against Gunther, and now they kind of tease beef against each other on Friday night. It kind of makes sense. How they get there, I have no idea, because that means, they've both been pinned or something along those lines where now...
Yeah, they pin each other.
Yes. The way they're getting there is going to be a shitty kind of way that they're going to get there, because somehow they both have a claim on going against Gunther.
It's like when
when
Brody Lee and what's his name both fell out of the ring at the same time, but they didn't really fall. It was Brody Lee and what was Brody Lee's name? Luke Harper. Luke Harper and AJ Styles. They were supposed to fall out at the same time. They didn't, but they acted like they did.
See, you went way deeper than that. I was just going to stick with Batista and John Cena, where fucking Vince had to come down to sell the shit. He tore his quads. It's on. It's on our YouTube page. Make it all kind of connect. But that's just me.
Good job, thank you.
Go ahead, Zach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. We can skip some shit. No, but I do want to say how hilariously bad the Bobby Lashley segment was with Bray Wyatt. Uncle Howdy comes out, jumps him from behind, and then Lashley, like, no nonsense, just like shrugs out of his like expensive suit coat and like spine busters this dude, which is awesome. And then the lights go out and he disappears. And I'm like, oh wow, like what happened? I don't know. It's just kind of annoying. You can see why Brock didn't want to be a part of that shit.
Yes, I said it on Twitter. I was like, yep, I can totally see why Brock was like, I'm good. Give me
it was like, be part of this super dead Bray Wyatt thing, or get into this super hot Omos thing. Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll take Omos. I'll throw him around 5 minutes. Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, like exactly like Brock's like, yeah, like I'll beat this big fucker.
Brock is mine is 1,800 to win that match.
We'll talk about odds next week.
Yeah, we'll go through the betting odds next week. We're going to talk about betting odds next week. We gotta get Joey.
About to throw another black man into the third row. Safe bet Brock wins that match.
He does not job the black dudes. Not his style. Nope. That dude is Nordic.
Then we had main event was Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn. It's good for Solo Sikoa getting a main event. Like I know it's like, like he's undefeated, and he defeated Sami Zayn here. Like, granted there was a little bit of interference, but I don't think I wonder, like just this whole like kind of connection, this like storyline. Like it's good for Solo Sikoa. Like this guy was just on NXT like very recently, so good for him. I just wish Sami Zayn would be one person with a blue thunder bomb, so I could believe that that's a actual pin at some point. But regardless, after the match, there was a beatdown and kind of a little bit of complication to the Bloodline storyline, but Zayn, ended up getting some heat back, even though he lost, and laying out both those guys before escaping through the crowd, so that was cool. But a good episode of SmackDown. So, kind of moving on to the Raw show. We've got Paul Heyman, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa show up, and do the continuation of the Bloodline thing, and then we open up with Kevin Owens defeating Solo Sikoa, but via disqualification. So he still hasn't been pinned or submitted or anything. But
Solo Sikoa is one of the most protected guys on the roster right now.
Yeah, 100%.
Guy never loses. There would have been no shame in him losing to KO.
None.
But also, KO could have easily lost to Solo. And
could he?
Oh, I think so. I think that KO at this point, in this storyline, KO was pretty Teflon.
I was going to say it, especially with the bill going.
I think with where they're going.
It would have been a little bit of, not even a little bit, unless it was some serious Bloodline fuckery going on and you don't have them at full strength at this point. I had no problem with KO going over, especially in a disqualification.
Going over in a DQ. It's not really going
it's not
over.
He won the match. Okay, better choice of words.
The key thing was that Sami Zayn saved Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens did not reciprocate. Spoiler alert to the end of the show, and he did not show appreciation at all. So we're only a few weeks out from Mania. We're still slow building, which is great. I'm into it. Means the pop's going to be that much bigger.
Yep.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit for the sake of brevity. I don't think we have anything else to say, but I will skip into Miz TV. This is very funny. Not only
wait, are we skipping Carmella and Chelsea Green? Okay, I guess we'll get into Miz TV then. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. But
I like them, by the way.
Miz
I think they're
TV,
just horrible, just horribly bad in a good way.
Nobody cares.
I'm sitting there watching this.
I care about your opinion, Jason. I just don't care about Chelsea Green and Carmella.
I was going to say, this is our podcast. Sorry, Zach.
You have another podcast to talk about all your other stuff.
This is WWE. We don't talk about WWE on
That's
that
the Phoenix
other
Splash
podcast.
Find it anywhere you find podcasts.
That other podcast. This motherfucker. Let's say Zach gonna be talking about this shit as you know. You hear some.
Oh fuck! I'm on fire.
Right. Sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
I was trying to skip things for brevity, but
That's kind of my point.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we had Seth Rollins, Logan Paul face to face on Miss TV, and the reason I find this funny is because my wife, as an outsider, shed some light onto this, which was very funny to me. She's like, "What the fuck is up with Seth Rollins?" Because she knows who Seth Rollins is. Like, low key, I think she's cute, or I think she thinks that he's cute, so that's why she's like kind of tuned into him. And she's like, "What the fuck is he wearing?" I'm like, and she's like, "What is he doing?" Because he does his whole thing and he's strutting around the ring. I'm like, "Yeah," I'm like. It's like his new character. I'm like, I was like, I don't hate it. I was like, the fans are loving it, so I kind of give him some benefit of the doubt. But the crowd is into it, and I hated his last couple characters, and this one's like not bad. I was like, but he does come off as kind of a douchebag, and then I got to talking about how much I like Logan Paul, and I never thought I would like him because he is such a douchebag. And Tara's like, well, if you look at these two guys, she's like, Seth Rollins looks like the douchebag. Yeah, Seth Rollins looks like the douchebag. Like, he's the guy that I wouldn't actually want to hang out with. I'm like, man, I was like, that is very insightful, but totally true. Like, Logan Paul was a great heel in this segment, and Seth Rollins was doing well as a babyface, but they came off as opposites, at least to me as a viewer. Like, I'm like rooting for Logan Paul instead of Seth Rollins. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, what I would say to your beautiful bride, who I respect and like very much, and who is family to me, what I would say is that as the audience, she doesn't really carry the same, she doesn't carry the relationship into that segment that the most of the crowd does with Seth Rollins. So people have come along Seth Rollins with this journey, and Seth Rollins has, by hook or by crook, become a babyface with this particular character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very gradual thing. I can see how somebody would drop in on Raw and be like, what the fuck is this dude's deal? Like,
he's a douche.
Did he grab his wife's sunglasses and her fucking coat? Like, I totally get that. But as a guy who watches this shit week to week, I totally get why Seth Rollins is over as a babyface, too. Like, people want to like Seth Rollins. And the only time that he's really gotten over as a babyface is when people like his heel persona enough to like it. When they tried to make him a babyface, it
kind of worked against Brock a little bit.
A little bit, but not.
Not like this. This is a different level.
This seems like his most over babyface.
This is a different level
era ever.
Yes.
And he's a guy that's on TV every week and has been on TV every week for years and years and years. He seems really over. I thought that this segment was fan-fucking-tastic. I thought that the reason that both guys brought into it was really good. I thought Logan Paul's retorts to Seth Rollins saying, I'm better at your job than you are, and I never do this. I thought that was fucking fantastic.
Motherfucker. I'm like, punch in the face, Ed.
I don't know who's going to headline Saturday night at WrestleMania. I think that it most likely will be like Charlotte.
Don't even.
What?
Go ahead. I'll let you finish, but just.
If I had to put my money on it, I would say Charlotte and Rhea would headline WrestleMania Night 1 or the Usos versus Owens and Zayn. But I think that Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins would be a pretty worthy WrestleMania Night 1 main event, just for the fact if they give them 20 minutes. If Logan Paul can do that with Roman Reigns, and I love Roman Reigns, but he is not the in-ring guy that Seth Rollins is.
Agreed.
If Logan Paul can do that with Roman Reigns,
imagine what he can do with Seth Rollins.
I shudder to think. I think it'll be fucking great.
Go ahead, Two-Beer.
Moving on, we had Roll back a little bit.
Are we moving on? Did you give your thoughts?
No, for the most part, I agree with everything that you said. The one thing I think I just keep coming back to it is just that Logan Paul should have just been a heel from the start. The fact that
can't go back in time, Biff.
I know. Okay. So in this
Maybe
scenario,
Biff can. You can't.
So in this scenario, Seth Rollins becoming a babyface, I think, was organically happening. I think the initial plan, and this is just me, guessing, is that they wanted Seth to be a heel, and then somehow, somewhere, I can't, you can't pinpoint when it happened, but Seth Rollins quietly became a babyface.
I'll say this.
And then, from that point, we ran.
I'll say this. When the crowd kept doing the oh, and Logan Paul looked at them and he goes, "This segment has a time limit. Why don't you all shut the hell up?" I was like, oh, my God, this guy's a natural.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
That is wrestling 101.
That is heel shit 101.
How many territories did you go through, Logan?
Okay, 0. Perfect. Okay, that's what I'm saying. He's got the gift of gab. He's athletic. If he wants to do this full time, he could be the next great heel wrestler. And the fact that they even try to make him a babyface going against the Miz, come on, man.
I mean,
that's the dumbest thing ever.
WrestleMania 52 is going to be Logan Paul versus Pat McAfee in a best-of-7 Iron Man matches. It's just going to be the entire night. It's just going to be 7 one-hour matches between those two guys. That's how good those part-timers are. That's how good those part-timers are.
You come in Saturday night, you get the 7-match series.
You're watching McAfee and Logan Paul for 7 hours. They're cutting the beer off in the middle of match 5.
What? I say, stick some shit in. Where's the fireball roll? Go ahead, Tubier. I'm sorry.
They're going to wheel Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels out in their wheelchairs to be judges.
Bret Hart sipping through a straw.
Stop!
He's going to
say shit.
He's going to blow in the straw to propel his wheelchair, and as soon as he blows out, he's going to use his remaining breath to say "fuck Goldberg" on live TV.
He's got 3 straws. One straw is to suck in for water. One straw is to blow out to go forward, and the other straw is a megaphone that says "fuck Goldberg."
Man, y'all ain't shit, man. But can we get these guys on BFR and just be like, can we just settle it right now? Kumbaya, motherfuckers.
That'd be great for the listeners. That would be great for our downloads.
You should have taken downloads first. No, the great for the listeners.
It would go from 250 to 275. Most of them would be Brett's family.
Dude, did you know he had Goldberg on BFR? What?
And me listening on 2 different. Okay, what you got, Zach?
So moving on, we'll skip a few things, and we can just talk about the John Cena Austin Theory segment. This was super fun. Cena comes out, Theory interrupts, and basically, just the gist of it, without kind of going into like too much detail. You guys can fill in some detail if you like, but Cena just roasts him for like 5+ minutes. And like to build a match to WrestleMania, basically declines the match to start, roasts the guy for 5 minutes and says, "Okay, I guess I'll fight you," and then introduces Cody Rhodes, which is like it was wild. It was definitely a modern Cena promo situation, though.
So I have a lot of thoughts on this one, and I'll preface these thoughts by saying that I think that John Cena's promos are almost insufferable. Like, I look forward to watching them when he comes back now, just so I can talk about on the podcast about how insufferable they are, basically. When he started this one, I thought that there was a lot of promise. Because he didn't come out and do the Black Preacher thing prior to Austin Theory came out. His music stopped, and Austin Theory music started, and he was out there. Bottom line is, I can get down with everything that John Cena said about Austin Theory here, except he did go on like a 30-second tangent where he said that nobody cares about you. And I don't care if Austin Theory wins at WrestleMania. I don't care what happens from here on out. I will always believe, and apologies to Eddie Kingston for sounding like one of the boys backstage, but I will always believe that is bad for business because you are not putting that guy over at all. And you can say that, hey, there's going to be 4 weeks from now, Austin Theory is going to have beaten John Cena at WrestleMania. But there are people that are watching that aren't going to watch WrestleMania. They'll just be like, well, John Cena says nobody cares about this guy. Why should I care about this guy? Just because he's in the ring with John Cena? And as long as we're eating crow tonight, Jason's always told me that I was wrong about this because I always say that standing in a ring with an ex-wrestler is better than not standing in a ring with him. This didn't feel good for Austin Theory. I thought that Cena went too far. And it's not that I think that Austin Theory's feelings were hurt or anything. I don't care about that. I thought that it was bad for if you're trying to dictate what a crowd thinks, which is basically what wrestling is. He just buried Austin Theory, man. He buried him. And it looked like he got pissed off, and maybe this is me getting worked. It looked like he got pissed off after he made the bald spot joke. It looked like Cena. Oh, sorry. It looked like Cena went in there, and after he got the bald spot joke, Cena just went off. Jason, what do you think?
Honestly, and this
Am I being a pussy?
No, I don't think you're being a pussy per se. I just think.
What do you think as a man with a bald spot?
No, fuck, I ain't got no bald spot. I got a bald ass head. Okay, once that bald spot came up, I was just like, okay, what you gonna do? I don't have John Cena money, so we just cut that shit. And I've always said this, and this is just me. The way I grew up, we talked about your mama, your daddy, your girlfriend, nothing was above reproach. Okay? So even if I thought John Cena was crossing the line, I don't think he crossed the line. For me, I want John Cena to talk shit because I want Austin Theory to go over. Ultimately, that's what we're here for. John Cena is back to get guys over at this point. 17 is not going to happen.
Can I ask you this?
Please.
And then I want to hear Zach's thoughts. But let me ask you this real fast. Before John Cena, before 2003, let's say, okay? Can you imagine one instance where
2003 was crazy.
before 2003, though, okay? So basically in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, man. Okay, never mind.
Can you remember one worked shoot? And I know shit's different now, but can you imagine one promo that was cut before a match that actually just completely undercut the guy's entire thing? Like that just
I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's happened.
Can you think of one though? Like, I mean, you're a student of the game. You do 2 wrestling podcasts.
I'm
you
sure
watch
you had
16 hours of podcast.
I'm sure you had a heel in the 80s and the 90s come out before a match and say, "This motherfucker ain't shit. I'm getting ready to come out and spank that ass."
You're sure it happened? Did it do any
business? I got 2 decades.
Did it do any business?
Depending on what the match is.
Sorry,
let's just make the point. What's your point?
The point is that nobody did this before, and it was fine. So why does John Cena think that this sells pay-per-views? This is not selling pay-per-views. This is not selling the match. All it is him making a fool out of Austin Theory, and he kind of did. Am I getting worked, Zach?
No, I don't think you're getting work. I think it's definitely a stylistic shift. It's a tonal shift, and it's definitely been something. Like I said, it's a modern John Cena promo, and that's what I meant by it. He gets very fourth wall. It's almost like he has the freedom to be able to do that because I'm sure that no one is scripting John Cena's fucking promos. So, yeah, I don't think you're wrong, and I don't know if it's an ego thing. Where he just wants to come off better, which it could be, or if it's just
it's a dickhead.
like
I think he's a dickhead.
Whoa, damn.
I think he's a dickhead. He's from Boston.
Okay, well, that's totally different. All things Boston I don't necessarily like, but go ahead.
Actually, I defense rest.
He's from Boston.
I don't know. I don't think there's any reason to say that nobody cares about you. I don't think there's any reason to say that
you're getting worked.
No, I don't think there's any reason. No, I'm sure they'll have a professional match. I'm sure it'll be a professional match. I'm sure he'll lay down for Austin Theory. I'm sure Austin Theory will do that John Cena will do the job. Sorry, Eddie Kingston.
I feel like it's one thing to do it to Roman Reigns, who was like the golden child and got push after push after push. It's another to do it to a guy on the way up.
I'll never forget when he called Cesaro's nipples. He made fun of how big Cesaro's nipples were. And, like, the crowd started chanting about Cesaro's nipples. It's like, what? Who does this get over? You're already over, dude. Like, aren't you supposed to bring guys up? Like, isn't that the point of professional wrestling, to make the other guy look good? Like, who does this make look good? And it wasn't like they were in a feud.
Right.
He was just cutting a promo on the guy in the back. I don't think Cesaro was even out there. Like, he just buries dude. He's as bad as Triple H ever was.
Wait. Okay.
He's a barrier.
No, he's okay. Stop it. Okay. Let's pump some brakes a little bit. Number one, Austin Theory was not buried out there. Did he look bad? Yes.
Fuck
Rock
yeah,
he made Rock look bad. He's made a ton of guys look bad on different times.
Yeah, he brought up the thing with the Rock, with Rock
writing the shit on his arm. Okay,
yeah.
As a huge Rock fan, I remember that shit, and I was like, damn.
But that was also garbage, though.
But was it not true? Was it not true? Where's the lie? The shit was literally on his arm.
So you're taking Cena's fan?
Look, you can go back and look back on the WWE archives. The shit was on his arm. For a guy that loves The Rock, and it is one of the best promos ever, when you're going to have your shit on your arm, that bothers me a little bit. And then John Cena took advantage of that and then buried him, quote unquote, in your words, buried him in the lead up to their WrestleMania match. I don't think by any means that Austin Theory is buried. He's the next Roman Reigns. He did the same thing with Roman Reigns. He did the same. I'm not saying that Roman Reigns is going to be the undisputed champion, or I'm sorry, Austin Theory is going to be the undisputed champion. But this is a learning experience.
The thing about the Theory stuff, though, where he said, in theory, you're supposed to be great. In theory, you're supposed to be the next. Like, I thought that stuff was really good. That's what a promo should be. What a promo shouldn't be is talking about piped in fucking audience.
That's the one thing that I thought it was one step too far.
Because that doesn't only put heat on Austin Theory.
That puts heat on WWE.
It puts heat on the promotion.
Right.
Which is like, it's just dumb.
That's some shit that I would expect out of. I mean, we see it with some AEW shit all the time. They're constantly like they're doing this like fourth wall shit to like put heat on the promotion, and it's fucking infuriating. So I should be upset about it when Cena does it too, because it infuriates me whenever like FTR act like they're fucking so mad and they're gonna fucking leave their jobs, and then they just like show up and they're getting a tag title match and it's just all fucking work. And like, who are you working? Like AEW fans who like AEW, you trying to turn them off on AEW. So like, who are you working here, Cena? You know,
Zach is fucking firing tonight, man. He's on all cylinders. I agree. I think you're totally right. And I don't care if you put heat on WWE. Like, I'm not here to defend WWE. I'm just saying.
Oh, clearly, after 298 episodes, that's not what we do.
Does it sell the show, though? Does it sell me on the match? It didn't sell me on the match. All I wanted, well, maybe it did, because all I want to do now is see Theory fucking whoop his ass.
Thank you.
That was not Cena's point, though.
It wasn't Cena's point, but
he wanted to strip that kid down.
And
I know that Austin Theory's a grown man. I know that Austin Theory's a grown man.
Right, as I'm over here trying to make my point.
You want to come into my face? I'm going to come into yours.
I think Austin Theory will be better for this interaction.
Well, then it seems cheap. Then it seems like Cena knows he's going to do the job for him, so Cena thinks that he can say whatever he wants.
all crowds are not going to be receptive to Austin Theory. He's going to have to, if he really wants to go to the top of the card.
You know what I want crowds to go back to? Hating John Cena. Stop cheering his ass.
It's too late, man.
Because if it's not black, and here's the other thing that he does. When he comes out and he holds up that little towel that says "Never Give Up," that looks like Wheeler Yuta just fucking came into it. He's like, "Oh, never give up, never give up. Oh, forged by combat, forged by combat." When he comes up and holds that little thing and then he talks into the camera, he's like, "Oh, you guys should be here. This is so great." It's like, get the fuck out of here, you corny ass bitch. Fuck you, John Cena. Fuck John Cena. I hope fucking Austin Theory just A-Towns him down into fucking nothing so that the Peacemaker gets canceled and they don't make another Fast and Furious. Get the fuck out of here, John Cena. What a fucking nerd. God damn, he's a fucking nerd. He is a fucking nerd, man.
Holy shit.
I hate him. I hate him.
Okay, all right, Two Beer. Get to the end of Raw. Shut up.
Bigotry of low expectations.
Shut up.
We all have to like him now that he's been around forever. We don't like him. Nobody likes him. We tolerate him. And then when you tolerate shit long enough.
Hang on. I can't get over there fast. I should have been doing this 2 minutes ago.
When you tolerate shit long enough, like not sleeping or a scratchy scalp or fucking herpes, when you fucking tolerate it, then you start to love it.
What the
Because you've had it for so long.
I do like that he normalized jean shorts.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Let's say, of course he did.
Roll the fuck up.
I actually don't own any jean shorts. That'd be fucking nerdy.
God, I could see you wearing jean shorts, though. Like, absolutely. 100%.
Can I miss something? I had George Red at one point.
I believe it.
I used to rock some like Tommy Hilfiger jorts, but now I'm like a straight like Dickies short dude. That's like all summer. Anyway,
just to be clear, am I on an island here with John Cena, or are you guys on my side?
I don't hate him as much because I was not watching during Super Cena days, and so he was already pretty much like I started watching again whenever he was on his like US. Yeah, when he was on his US title, like the Open Challenge, that was like good shit. So and I started watching, and then he had that feud with AJ. So like I've been pretty high on Cena because I didn't have to watch all the bullshit.
The AJ feud was when it got kind of good. That's basically when it got kind of good. And that was probably like
the Punk rivalry was
2015.
good. Edge rivalry was good, but I mean, ultimately, it's so much just. God damn!
I remember that SummerSlam watching Cena versus AJ, and we went to some house over in South City, and John Jones was going to give me a ride home, and I was at the wineries all day, and somebody at the wineries gave me a Xanax, and I took it at the beginning of the show, and so I was sitting there watching SummerSlam, and I could like barely talk, and John Jones was giving me a ride home, and he's like, "What'd you do tonight?" And I was like, I smoked weed there, and I've been drinking wine all day, and I had a couple beers, and then I took a Xanax at like 6:30, and he's like, you're not supposed to take those at the beginning of the party, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. That's a pretty good point, dude.
You probably should wait till you get home.
Lesson learned at age 37.
You got me on that one, boss. Checkmate.
All right.
And don't mix your benzos with alcohol.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
Unless you're within 40 feet of your bed.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sami Zayn defeated Jey Uso, so match was fine, but the match was not really the story here, even though it was nice to see Sami get a win over a Bloodline member. But the big story was that Jey came out to watch this match, and after Jimmy loses and goes in, he looks like he's on the verge of tears. He's got his shirt bunched up in his fist, and he's just about to cry, and he just walks past his brother, his twin brother, and he bumps shoulders with him, and he goes outside, and he hugs Sami Zayn, and they put up the one.
To a huge pop.
crowd popped.
The
so good.
hug popped the crowd so much.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
And I'm so glad that they did it.
It was so great. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Wait a minute. We got a WrestleMania match going on.
That much better. And Jey super kicks him and then, starts screaming in his face, saying, like, you think I was going to choose you? This is blood. And he throws him in there.
Also, a tremendous super kick.
Oh, yeah.
He was like standing like 2 feet back from him.
He kept stepping back. I was like,
uh-oh. I know.
Uh-oh.
I was watching on Hulu. And when they hugged.
Shit.
When they hugged and it popped, I checked how much time was left. There's 2.5 minutes left. And I was like, that ain't it. No. I was like, and I was watching Jey the whole time. I was like, he's about to, he's just stepping back.
You cheated.
I did cheat.
I say, I'm watching Jey. I ain't watching what the time is. I'm like, man, what you
Two
man,
beers.
why you stepping back, dog?
Two beers. Did you see it coming?
I mean, I knew, because I didn't watch it till today, so I knew. So I can't say that.
You knew the outcome.
It was spoiled for me. Yeah.
Gotcha. When he hugged Sami Zayn, my first thought was, could they get a Jimmy versus Jey match at WrestleMania and a Sami versus KO match at WrestleMania?
Yes.
And that went through my head for like 15 seconds. And then I checked the time and I was like, I don't know.
Somebody gonna get killed.
But even expecting it to happen, not knowing it was going to happen, but expecting it to happen, it was still so perfectly executed.
Yeah.
A tremendous super kick. Jey yelling in his face, you think I was going to choose you? This is family shit. I mean, really tremendous stuff. Just great. Like, really great.
And we didn't get the expected save.
Right.
Cody Rhodes comes out.
Yes. Yes.
So
which still makes sense.
Yep.
Which still makes sense. So even if you expected KO to come out, you wanted KO to come
Cody's
out.
Just he's just a babyface.
No, a babyface, but still has relevancy to this bloodline. Roman Reigns. Blah blah.
I said it before. Like, I think they learned their lessons from Daniel Bryan. I think they've done this Cody shit. They've executed it flawlessly. Because if they were worried about people turning on Cody Rhodes, being number 30 in the Royal Rumble, coming out and endorsing Sami Zayn, Paul Heyman taking cheap shots at him having that promo segment with Roman, and then him coming out and saving Sami Zayn and him not getting booed, but people being like, fuck yeah, this is our guy. Execute flawless victory. It's really been good.
The one thing I was really worried about, and you guys last week were a big proponent of it. They missed the mark with Sami Zayn. They should have made him champion. At least now, I'm not saying that Sami Zayn should never be champion, but we've put that on the back burner for just a little bit. And now, like I said, Cody and Roman will headline night 2 at some point, probably next week, because we're starting to run out of time in this motherfucker. We're getting up to 300, and then with this angle, at some point, I don't know how. Once again, the great part about this bloodline angle is that you know what the end game is. How we get there is the question. And 9 times out of 10, there's been very few times where the build for the bloodline for a match has been disappointing. The ultimate implosion of the bloodline to me is going to be what I'm waiting for, because I think we're going to get to that point, and I think I just want to see how we get there, because this has been one of the best for just BFR, just 298 episodes. This has been one of the best angles, storylines, whatever you want to call it, that I've seen in a hot minute. At least for just BFR, is probably the best.
Zach?
Sorry, trying to unmute furiously. And I agree with Jason. It was, it really is. we've seen series of matches that have been better. We've seen, say like pay-per-views or what have you. But as far as like a long-term story, I'd say top two off the top of my head. It is this, and it is the story of Hangman Adam Page becoming AEW World Champion. I think those are top two for me.
Damn. All right, let's get to that 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
I was going to say the Shield, but
And please stick around for after the show. I am going to interview, or Jason and I are going to interview Tinder Mahal, a.k.a. Joey O'Farrell, the promoter and brains behind STL versus the World at Grandel Wrestling. Yes.
in the on-deck circle.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun interview. We've already recorded it. There's some shit that comes out between all 3 of us who have been friends for a long time, and you guys will not want to miss this. But let's get into that 3 count. So what I'm going to do, because we've covered a lot of AEW stuff, but we're going to do Dynamite because Hobbs did beat Wardlow in the main event in a Falls Count Anywhere match for the TNT Championship. Hobbs ends up winning. I was watching this, didn't have any spoilers, saw Wardlow get hit with a chair, and I was like, oh, who's that going to be? Oh, fuck yeah. I was like, something's happening. And it was QT Marshall. And there is no more way to make your second biggest title, singles title, on your promotion to seem more mid-card than have QT Marshall play into it. Very disappointing to me. I don't mind the short reign that Wardlow had with the TNT title. What I mind is QT Marshall's involvement. Jason, you're shaking your head. As the resident QT Marshall mark.
No,
go ahead.
Let Zach go first. What did he think about it?
What'd Zach think about it?
I mean, the match was pretty fun for the short period that we had. I mean, it started out like Hobbs got flipped onto a car.
Fucking bullshit.
But the finish, not the way I would have had Hobbs do it, not the story I would have told.
You mean with QT or with Thurgood to keep QT Marshall?
Yeah. What's funny is like I actually really like QT. I'm probably going to use him as my main on AEW Fight Forever whenever the video game comes out.
Man, that is such a good idea, actually. I love that, actually. Just make him like the biggest badass.
Exactly, but he's not a star. So.
For 2 guys that was championing the story connection No, I'm going to do it. Number 1, for 2 guys that were championing the story connection for the MJF Bryan Danielson match, this is old school wise guys, fucking Goodfellas, all that shit. QT owed Hobbs a favor.
Yeah, from like a Rampage.
It doesn't. Hey, it doesn't matter. Okay, guess what? The favor was cashed in. Maybe in a time when you didn't want it to happen, it probably shouldn't have happened. This goes back to my whole Wardlow argument from beforehand. You probably shouldn't have had Wardlow in this match to begin with.
Listen, Zach and I agreed with that point. Does QT Marshall being involved with the belt make it worse or better? Does it elevate the belt?
I don't think it does anything to the belt. To me, it just stays. It stays this. Actually, from Samoa Joe losing the belt to Wardlow, it was already on the decline.
Yeah, I know.
He probably shouldn't have lost his Wardlow to begin with. If you wanted to go on the incline, Samoa Joe retains.
Listen, the guy already could barely swim. All I did was shove his head underneath. The fuck are you talking about? QT Marshall is a fucking jobber who shouldn't have anything to do with any belt at all.
It's fine that they're telling a story. It doesn't mean that it's a good one.
Number 1, thank you, Zach. It makes sense.
I was going to say thank you, Zach. That's how you know Zach's point was good, that we both think you were agreeing with us.
Yeah, we're making, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Zach.
For me, Zach makes sense because it makes storyline sense. You already had Hobbs shaking down QT Marshall, and for months past, you owe me one.
Who the
you
fuck
owe
knows
me
that,
one.
though? Zach's
They
right,
said-
though. It was
they
on
said-
Rampage.
Okay, but then when QT Marshall came out, they quickly was like, "Oh,
Yeah, but
this
wrestling's always about playing to the people in the top row, man.
Okay,
I'm
well,
in the
then-
top row. I don't watch Rampage.
Okay, so then,
I don't watch Dark.
then that's on however you figure out. You need to figure out however people need to watch Rampage or not. That's not my problem. My problem is with this. You're sitting here talking about QT Marshall shouldn't be involved in it. He definitely should have been involved in it. You just forgot about it the same way I forgot about it.
No. Just because the story says that he should be involved with it, like Zach said,
It
doesn't make
doesn't
the
make it
story
good. It doesn't
good.
make it good. We can all agree with that.
but I'm saying on an overall level, if I don't watch Dark, Elevation, or Rampage, and all I do is watch AEW Dynamite, and all I do is see QT Marshall make a fool out of himself and be Peter Avalon adjacent, then why the fuck would QT... Like, Peter Avalon might as well should have gotten involved in that main event.
we saw him.
It's stupid. He's a fucking jobber. He's a jobber, and now he's involved in the TNT Championship, which is supposed to be your second biggest singles championship. There's no argument. You would just say, hey, Bill, yeah, I never thought about it like that.
You know, unfortunately, the problem with this, once again, it's a two-part problem. Number one, Wardlow won
The
the
first
title.
Ellen Bill and the second Ellen Bill.
Wardlow won the title when he shouldn't have won the title.
Can't spell Wardlow without an L.
Number two, for this match alone, the finish
Zach,
is
you
my
gotta take off mute
problem
for
with the
those
whole
jokes, man.
thing. Okay, it's not like Hobbs threw him off some shit. It was like, okay, here's a crash pad, and now this
that
guy
doesn't bother
that's
me
been.
at all. I don't
Come
care
on,
about
man,
that at all.
that's a horrible way to finish.
QT Marshall bothers me way more than that.
The finish bothers me way more than QT Marshall.
Okay, next up.
I don't mind a crash pad. I'm fine with like dudes being safe.
Look, no, okay, better choice of words. It wasn't the crash pad. It was like, if you're going to do a crash pad, let's do it 6 feet off, so that if you can still have the effect and still keep guys safe.
What's that guy's name? The black guy they did the documentary about that threw the guy off the scaffolding, almost killed him. What the fuck's his name? I'm gonna be so mad.
New
Jack, yes.
New Jack, yeah.
I was going to say Low Jack, and I was like, I know that's not right.
Yeah, Jason's like New Jack here. He's like, fucking, you better throw those motherfuckers off. They better land through 6 tables on the broken glass.
Not even what I'm saying.
With no
you know
shoes
that.
on.
And you know that's not what I'm saying. Act like that finish was like, okay, Wardlow, with all that he's done up to this point, was like, okay, that's the way he's going out.
Listen, if I'm being honest, you give me True Serum, that main event sucked. The ending sucked.
Thank you.
What do you mean, thank you? That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying the entire time. Okay, is Moxley a heel now?
Yes. They all are heels.
Did we see a heel turn?
Yes.
On Wednesday night?
Yes.
Zach,
Yep.
we have Jason's answer. And
Yep.
we're on board with that, right? I mean, I think, fuck yeah. I was like,
Danielson was the reason why they probably didn't do it immediately. Once he said he was going home, I tweeted, I was like, okay, now Danielson's going away.
I'll tell you
and
what,
these
man.
guys were already, Claudio was already trying to do it to begin with.
When Claudio European uppercut Dark Uno, like as a cheap shot, I was like, oh, these guys are fucking heels. Let's go.
on.
Here we go. So we're all cool with that. What about that Bryan Danielson promo that made it sound like he was going to retire? Where are you guys at on that, Zach?
I'm not expecting him to retire. It's weird that they tell that story and they didn't really sell it. You know, just like, here's a recorded promo from Bryan Danielson, our contender. And
Right, it wasn't.
amazing.
It wasn't like they were like, we have a huge promo from Bryan Danielson coming up. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snuck that son bitch in. It's like, what the fuck?
And then moving on, Evil Uno.
Right. Yeah. No big deal. Bryan Danielson's going away forever. I'm like, what the fuck, man? How you gonna make this no big deal?
All right. Tony Khan makes like his 4th appearance on Dynamite, and it's to promote the movie Shazam Part 2. I only have one question about this, and the question's for Zach. Sorry, Jason.
Cool. I got a PA anyway.
Zach, have you seen Shazam Part 1?
How's that not a question?
I have not.
Okay. So then we'll go back, and we talked about that 3-on-3-on-3 match that they're going to have, which is Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Elite versus House of Black. Okay. Takeshita was not on Dynamite this week, Zach.
No.
Don Callis did approach Takeshita on Rampage last week after I yelled at Jason about never watching Rampage. I did see Don Callis approach Takeshita. I did see Don Callis approach Takeshita and offer his services. Is it possible that we're going to get a heel Takeshita with a heel Don Callis versus a face Kenny Omega?
Wow. I hadn't thought of that. I actually thought it'd be more likely that Takeshita, because the fans are behind him, kind of turned that whole situation face. But I never thought about those two.
Well, what happened was during the pay-per-view, and because I was watching it sober on Monday morning, when Omega lost, Don Callis got very pissed off. And it wasn't like he got pissed off because they lost. It was like he got pissed off at Kenny Omega. Like he was kind of like planting the seeds about how Omega was being sloppy throughout. And this is after the Rampage where he approached Takeshita. And then the other night on Dynamite, when Omega and the Bucks came down to talk to the Jericho Appreciation Society, which is a very fun segment, Don Callis grabbed the mic out of Kenny Omega's hands. And Kenny Omega looked kind of pissed off at the beginning. Now, this might be me reading way too much into it, but this is also the kind of shit.
I'm reading the same book you are.
This is the kind of shit they talk about backstage when they talk about doing segments like this. I'm going to make a judgment call here, and I'm going to say that Don Callis eventually is the manager of Takeshita, and Takeshita is a heel, and Kenny Omega is a babyface. Zach,
I mean, I love it.
Jason, what do you think?
Is great, and he could use somebody to talk for him.
Well, when I talked about Takeshita getting into the main event picture a couple of weeks ago, our future guest here, Tender Mahal, texted me and said I was insane for suggesting that a person that couldn't speak English would be the AEW champion. And I said, well, just get him a manager. And he said, I knew you were going to say that, you fucking mark. And it turns out, I think that's where we're going. That's where I think we're going anyway. Jason.
If you've seen, and this is not a knock against Joey, this is unfortunately just me not having a life. Even with 2 jobs and 2 cats and all that other good shit, I still squeeze in a boatload of wrestling. So I've seen Takeshita in main events in DDT. I'm sorry. This dude's the real deal. Okay? You can tell me what you want to tell me about managers and he can't talk English and blah, blah, blah. Shinsuke Nakamura should have been the WWE champion, and Vince just decided he didn't want to do it. You can't tell me that this guy doesn't have talent and can't just supersede borders and all that other good shit. It's not even WWE. It's AEW. And AEW fans probably, A, know who Takeshita is, and B, if they don't know, they're falling in love with Takeshita. All he needs is a mouthpiece. And I'm not saying that Don Callis isn't the best mouthpiece. He's the mouthpiece that he's probably going to get. The Kenny
He's
Omega,
a pretty good one.
The Kenny Omega flip to the babyface, I don't know about just yet. He still has the IWGP US Championship. Jeff Cobb's in the way, so there's maybe that another story for another time. I agree with you with Takeshita and Don Callis being a team moving forward at some point.
We got to keep it moving. MJF next week is going to have his bar mitzvah. That's hilarious. That's
great promo, and a different kind of promo from MJF.
And I was wrong. I was wrong about MJF.
What?
I was always right about his promo skills. I was. Well, let's just say I don't know if I was wrong. Maybe it just got proven to me, right?
Okay, we can go with that.
We'll go with that.
We can go with that.
Juice Robinson, Bullet Club.
Got your ass.
Bullet Club logo shows up on AEW Dynamite when Ricky starts cutting his promo. Juice comes out, gets him. The crowd was nonplussed, I would say.
Gotcha.
But Juice is pretty cold right now, though. I mean, it's not like he's been hot in New Japan for a while. It's not like he's been
It's not even that.
It's not even like he's been doing anything.
It's not even that. You know what it's about.
What's it about?
They were thinking it was Jay White coming out. And when you get Juice, he got your ass.
Didn't even cross my mind.
He got your ass.
It's like Obi-Wan, like, this is not the guy he's looking for.
And what you guys think about Lethal versus Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett coming out? Jeff Jarrett is fighting Orange Cassidy next week. They are renaming the All-Atlantic Championship the Intercontinental Championship.
International.
Good with the title change.
Is it international?
AEW International Championship.
Right. Okay. All right.
Good with the title change. Done with Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett. Just go away. Go away. Go away. How many times you got to lose and get another title match the next week? God damn.
That's going to do it for us.
That match is really good, though.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, those guys rule.
1, 2, 3.
I was only able to watch 2 of the New Japan matches for odds and ends this week. The only 2 that I was able to watch was El Phantasmo versus Naito, which Naito went over. Pretty good match. And then I'll say Taichi versus Sanada was borderline great. Like, fucking, like, was that a 25-minute match?
It was at least 20 for sure.
When Zach, I don't know if you watched this match, but Jason, you did.
Spoiler alert. Yes, for sure.
Sanada went over. Sanada had Taichi basically passed out, and Kevin Kelly started talking about how Red Shoes had a lot of leeway. He's like, Red Shoes is giving a lot of leeway here. And then Taichi came back and almost beat him, and then there was like another 12 minutes. It was a tremendous match.
2 different matches.
Way
Taichi
better than I expected it to be, and I was just watching it expecting it to take a nap, and guess what? It didn't take a nap.
But not.
And I've talked a lot of shit about Sanada in the past. Sanada was spectacular in this match.
I think to me it's credit to Taichi as the opponent, number 1, how they booked it. Number 2, to me, it was 2 different matches. Taichi.
I haven't seen any scuttlebutt about this match. I just watched it like 3 hours ago. Were people into this?
Yeah, very much so.
I actually just watched it while we were talking on the podcast.
6 matches in, and obviously 2 matches last night or this morning, whatever you want to call it. But right now, to me, and this is early, that was the best match of the early tournament. It was a really good storytelling of Sanada coming in as, having a bunch of losses.
Man,
and
they were
Taichi
both
was
tremendous.
And Taichi took advantage of that for like the first 10 minutes. And then Sanada kind of like woke up on the outside, and the match took to a different level to where it was a usual Taichi Sanada match. It was really good. It was, if it's like I said, for me right now.
So before we close up shop here
David
for
Finlay.
the podcast, David Finlay is the new leader of the Bullet Club, right?
We don't know that. ELP's not having that just yet, so we don't know that.
All right.
He's a member of a Bullet Club.
Are there any other New Japan matches New Japan Cup matches that we should watch?
The 6 that we've seen so far, the 2 that the first 2, the night of the first match of New Japan, the 2 that I think you should watch, ELP, Naito, and then Sanada versus Taichi. that's the night you want to watch. If you're like me, you want to just grind everything out, you watch it all. But if you want to skip to it, the first match, first night, that's the watch. And then from that point, you can move on.
All right.
This is banned from ringside.
Hey, everybody. We've got some birthdays this week. Rick Steiner is 62. And be sure to stick around for Tinder Mahal. Joey O'Farrell is we're going to interview him after we get rid of Zach. Fucking dead weight.
What the fuck? Dude, he's still here.
Oh, shit. He's still here?
Yes.
Go eat
I'm
dinner.
already muted.
I say, damn, man, he's sitting right here for Christ's sake.
Luchasaurus is 38. Mae Young would have been 100 today. She was a freshman when Jason was a senior at high school. Kenta is 42. Matt Jackson is 38. Santino is 49.
If it wasn't so cold, I would come over there.
Iron Sheik is 81. Jordan Devlin is 23. And MJF, next Wednesday, will have his double bar mitzvah at age 26, which is so funny to me.
Jordan
Devlin's
Devlin's-
going 23.
Thank you.
What?
That can't be right.
33.
Okay.
What did I say?
24.
26.
No, I said
23.
33.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, okay. Hey, for F&B Eatery, for Soul Taco,
Check.
for Tinder Mahal, for Murray the
Check.
Merman Murray, for Pat, for Patriot Pat, whatever
Check.
the fuck their fucking
It's
podcast
Patriot
is.
Pat, yeah.
For my wife
That was the
Erin,
time.
for the cats, for
Check,
the
check.
dog, for the baby, for Vice.
Poor baby. Got a shiner on her eye.
For Two Beers, Zach Pullman. For Jason Cornelius Bell,
Which
I
we
am
never
Bill
talk about.
Day.
Check, check,
Never,
check.
ever forget to boo the heels.
Boo, bitch.
This is banned from ringside.
All right, everybody. We have Joey O'Farrell on the
JOF
line.
is in the house.
On the line right now. He is the owner of Grandel Wrestling, and we are talking about STL versus the World 2, which is coming up here in a couple weeks. Joey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Man, I love Tom MacArthur's song that he did for your show. It's great.
Which one? This one?
This was banned from ringside.
You say that one? Yeah, I was about to say, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Don't
300.
forget about Dan Reuter and Dustin Schaefer that were also playing music on that. Joe, so Grandel Wrestling, STL versus the World 2 is coming up here on March the 18th. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
And tell me what the main event of that show is.
Shit, talk about the whole card.
I mean,
What,
yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get there. I just want to hear what the main event is.
there's many main events, but the last match on the show is technical difficulties, which is Moses and Raheem De La Suede, two of the best up and coming wrestlers out of St. Louis, versus arguably the best tag team ever, one of the best tag teams ever. You got two guys who right now are New Japan champions, tag team champions. They're Impact tag team champions, and most recently, they're GCW tag team champions. And Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns.
The Motor City Machine Guns. I remember watching the Motor City Machine Guns with my friend Joey O'Farrell at my place over in South City in 2011, watching them on Impact in a best of 7 series with Beer Money, and us being like, how good are these motherfuckers? 12 years later, Joey O'Farrell is booking a show with Motor City Machine Guns in the main event. How excited are you for that? That's very exciting.
No, I'm really excited. And, you know, the thing about this match that's really exciting is that, you know, you book a lot of talent and they're bigger talent. And, yeah, they wrestle in New Japan. They wrestle on Impact. They wrestle in these other big companies. They're on TV a lot. So you're thinking, you know, what are the chances they're going to come? They're going to give us, you know, even 80%. And I can tell you without question, to quote my good friend Conrad Thompson, these guys are going to go out there and give you everything they got, and you're going to get a good 20 to 30 minute match, and you're gonna see stuff you've never seen before, and they're gonna take Moses and Raheem and make them, and that's what this match is about more than anything. Is kind of proving that our guys in St. Louis, obviously Moses and Raheem are in their early 20s, they're younger, but a team like Motor City, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin can really bring out the best in these two young guys, and I think. Alex said it to me best when he told me, I don't know if we're kayfabing or not, but I feel like we can not kayfabe on this show. He said to me, word for word, he said, we're going to fucking make these guys.
Okay, so...
That's exciting.
No, and that was kind of about you were giving me the...
We're going to have to cut this out now because Joey went off shoot, so, but I thought we were kayfabing, but I mean, it's fine.
Well, no, I think... To me, it was a question that I was going to ask anyway, but you kind of led me into that question. Well, let's make it a two-part question. Question one, let's talk about people that weren't here for STL versus the World Part 1. I was there. Obviously, Bill was there. I thought it was very amazing. So let's talk about how, if this is the first time you've seen STL versus the World and you're going to go to the 18th show, what are you expecting to see from that show, number one? And number two, Motor City Machine Guns, obviously a great team. How can they help put technical difficulties over? Either question you can go with first.
I mean, I'll go with the second question first. I don't think it's easy to keep up with a team like Motor City, and I don't think it's easy to keep up with them for 20 to 30 minutes. I think it takes a very skilled and in-shape tag team to really go out there and, keep up with those guys. And I think that technical difficulties really hasn't had that opportunity yet. With last year at STL vs. the World 1, they had a match with West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably, I mean, you think about all the stars that were on the show last year, they probably
match of the night.
Match of the night. Yeah. Would you agree?
No, I thought it was real. I like tag team wrestling to begin with, and I like West Coast Wrecking Crew. So I
would agree that was
1 + 1 is 2.
The West Coast Wrecking Crew match at STL versus the World 1 was my match of the night. It was the one I had the most fun with.
There you go. I mean, and I think and we can talk about the West Coast guys a little bit later, but I think that this match is just going to be something. If we have people coming in from out of town, other places who haven't seen technical difficulties before, like for them to get to face a team, like Motor City and two veterans who are still in their prime, it's just going to be so fun to see the kind of match these four guys can have together.
Hey,
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
Please.
Your first question, Jason, was what can people expect? I think the biggest thing, besides the obvious thing, which is, the card is amazing and we have so many talented guys coming in and girls too, is the production. I mean, we're in a 600-seat theater and the way I like to explain it is if you put WWE in a 600-person theater and they brought in all the bells and whistles that they have, you would get the same exact show. I mean, and this year we have the same thing with the video walls and all that stuff, but
nice.
we have put a lot more time and energy into actually individually making videos for each wrestler. So each wrestler this year will have their own kind of video, their own graphics. They'll have their own specific light show to their videos, songs. It's a lot more thought that goes into it when it comes to the production and the entertainment value.
Can't wait.
So
go ahead.
I went to your second show and your first show, and the guy that I was most impressed with at the Pop show was Dak Draper. I couldn't get over how this guy wasn't famous yet. So from a personal perspective, I want to know who is Dak Draper facing at STL versus the World 2, and what are your thoughts about him in general?
Okay. Dak Draper is facing the Crown of Glory champion, Camaro Jackson.
The
Camaro
Quadfather.
He's a friend of the show, even though he's never been on the show.
No, we need to have him on the show.
We both watch wrestling with him, so
no, we need to have him on the show. I think
call
he's
him a friend of the show.
Yeah, he's a friend of the show, whether he wants to be or not. I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, Camaro. Camaro is a guy that just he works so hard, and he's finally been given the opportunity, and he's really shown how good he is. Last year, he had a great match with Josh Alexander. He was trained by Dak Draper. He was literally, the first time he set foot in a wrestling ring, Dak was one of the guys that kind of showed him the ropes. And as far as Dak not being signed to a big company, it's incredible. It's unbelievable that he's not. But I don't know how long that's going to last. If I'm being honest, I think that's, it's only a matter of time before somebody snatches him back up. He is just, he's a great guy. I don't know if you guys saw the promo that he recently cut on Camaro about the match that they're going to have at the show, which will be for the Crown of Glory Championship. Dak is, he's just one of those guys who every time he gets in the ring, he makes his opponents better. And whether he's playing a heel or a baby face, right now he's one of the biggest baby faces in Kansas City. They consistently draw 700 plus people for each show they do. He's their champion. He's in a different town every weekend. Actually, he lives in Kansas City, so he's a Midwest guy again. But yeah, just overall a great human being and an even better wrestler.
So you were talking about like some of the production that with like Dak Draper, and for those who were there for STL versus the World 1, I thought that was one of the biggest things that I took away from it immediately, just walking in the show, not even seeing a match just yet, how the production itself was, for an indie show, it was better than I've ever seen for any other show. Talk about how you've had to work to make this. You and I have talked about this, but I want you to tell other people how you've had to work to make this just as good, if not hopefully better, than the original FCO versus the World. Obviously, you don't have to get into grand detail, but
no, send us your W-2.
No, don't get into that. I want your W-2s, but
I want to know.
I want the listener to know how you've had to work a little harder to make this thing happen.
Well, so I'll answer that too. I'll make that a two-part answer. So first of all, this time around, actually,
one part of that better be your W-2.
At the last show, it was the first show that I worked with this graphic designer, Noah Dom. And Noah's a friend of mine, but he has really put the time in and made this show so much better with like giving each wrestler, like I said before, like they'll have like some will have like individual videos, entrances, and some will have just graphics, but he really spent time on making sure that we have like these professional entrances for these guys and making sure everything looks good. And then the company that I use out of Kansas City, Loud, they're putting the time in to make sure that each wrestler has like their own light show and everything. It just comes off really well. So those are the two reasons we're able to do these big productions like this. And obviously the theater in itself is incredible. It's a beautiful theater. I think it's unlike anything in wrestling. I think it's different from anything you've ever seen if you've ever been to any kind of indie wrestling show.
So, Misa Kate had you talked about Dax Draper had a promo. Misa Kate, I just saw her promo running down STL. Talk about that. How did you have to work around that talent, make it happen, and then put it on, YouTube and Twitter and all that other good shit?
Well, we'll break kayfabe here for a little bit. Missa was brought to me. Tootie Lynn called me one day and was like, "Hey, I want Missa Kate. I want to face her." So I got a hold of Missa, and Missa was like, I want to do some cool shit. Like, I've seen some of the stuff that you guys have done, and, with some of the promo videos you've shot. Like, I want to do some cool stuff. And we kind of collaborated on, she came here, we shot some stuff, and then she did some stuff in Chicago as well. And we kind of collaborated on the idea of, how we wanted to work this match and make it more of a story. Because the thing about when you book like these super cards with all this talent from out of town, bring in all these talent from out of town, is that you don't really have it. It takes away from the opportunity for you to tell stories, and wrestling's about storytelling. So the great thing about Missa is like she was like, let's tell stories. Like, I'm gonna come in at the Glory Pro show back in January, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of Tootie Lynn, and no one's gonna see it coming. And
which we did.
No one saw that coming. And then the next day we release it, and it gets 1,000 freaking 1,000 likes and hundreds of comments on YouTube. And you got Jerry Lynn and all these old wrestlers saying, legends saying that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen for indie wrestling. And that was me and her just kind of putting that together and kind of figuring out, what would be the best. And people didn't know what to do. They were like, what the hell is this? Like, people didn't know. She's not that well known in the Midwest, in St. Louis. So people were kind of caught off guard by all that. And then shooting the promo and like really giving her a character base. And I don't want to give too much away, but like, we've got a lot of really fun stuff planned for that match. And for, we didn't really want to have Tootie talk a bunch and do the whole back and forth. We want to let Missa get the heat, and then, Tootie can kind of do her thing once the show's there, once we're in the building and the match is going to happen.
Can I say something? It worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was getting ready to say, I've never met Missa Kate. I wanted to see her lose on Saturday on the 18th. Go ahead, Bill.
Joey, tell us the rest of the card.
Okay. Well, we got Nick Aldis, former NWA champion, who I think is probably the best NWA champion in the last 30 years.
Yep.
Versus who I think is one of the most underrated local guys. Dory Funk trained, wrestles in Anarchy a lot. Actually, right now he's in Germany wrestling. Thomas Shire. Thomas Shire is a 6'3", 6'4", just shooter wrestler, very old school, but can do it all. I mean, he's just really impressive. And to get to book this match was such a pleasure for me. And obviously, like, I know that Shire is, he's so excited to face a wrestler like Nick Aldis. So
are all the matches booked?
Everything's booked. We announced the last match on yesterday, actually, which is going to be, we'll transition here, which is going to be the new CMLL welterweight champion, Rocky Romero.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Versus Dan the Dad.
Love Dan the Dad.
So that'll be a good one. Rocky's bringing Chico, his buddy Chico, with him to manage him. So that'll be a fun little twist to the match.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about comedy in your wrestling? And is Dan the Dad too much comedy, not enough comedy, or just the right amount of comedy?
Well, no, I think, I've been to those shows where it's like a really impressive card, and you're like, damn, this is a good card. But it's the same fucking match. Every match is the same. It's like, here's 20 minutes of good wrestling. And it gets so boring. By the time you get to the third or fourth match, you're like, I want to relax.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
So I think that this match needs to be on the show, and I think comedy wrestling is a great thing. Too much of a great thing is never good,
right.
But just enough is great. Like, and I think we have just enough of that on the show. We have just enough entertainment.
This was all for me to say that I love Dan the Dad. I think it's a great shtick. I think he's a super fun wrestler. I liked him when he was, I want to say Danny Adams. Was that his name?
Danny Adams. Yep.
Danny Adams. I loved him when he was Danny Adams, and he wasn't Dan the Dad, but Dan the Dad that's pro wrestling to me, baby. I love it.
Well, he's really good at it. I mean, he really knows that character.
Spectacular.
Really...
And him versus Rocky Romero sounds worth the price of admission for this wrestling podcaster.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be good. We got some fun stuff planned for that one too. I'm pretty excited about his entrance video for that show. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. We also have current AEW / Ring of Honor superstar Matt Sydal. Now, Matt Sydal is getting ready to do some really fun stuff with Ring of Honor versus Mike Outlaw, who I think arguably is the best wrestler in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's a friend of the show. We've watched pay-per-views with him.
There you go.
We should have him on. We should have him on next week.
Right? Duh.
Well, I'm sure he'll come on. But him and Mike right now. Mike is really. I think he's at the top of his game right now. He's got Homicide in 2 weeks. He was supposed to face Eddie Kingston last couple weeks ago, but he was scared to come to St. Louis because of Bill.
God, don't say that.
He didn't want that smoke, did he?
I don't know, Bill. Did Eddie Kingston want that smoke?
I apologized to him quite a few times tonight on tonight's podcast because I didn't want to use insider terms.
He didn't want that smoke, so he told Glory Pro, I can't make it.
Sorry, Mad King.
Oh, my God.
Didn't want to use those inside terms.
Great, Joey. Now he's just made his head bigger. We're going to have to move him sideways in the door.
Come find me. I live with Jason Bell.
And right there at Gravel and Taft.
Oh, holy shit. We're going to have to bleep that out.
That's great. Do that shit, Joe.
Joey, anything else that we need to know about the show?
Yeah, of course. There's tons more we need to know about the card. What else we got on this bad boy? We got Tom Lawler and Team Filthy.
Holy
yes. I was hoping I didn't miss that.
West Coast Wrecking Crew versus Team STL. And Team STL is three really guys who really haven't teamed together much, but three guys that I really have a lot of faith in. You got Warhorse, Warhorse is constantly traveling around the country,
awesome.
Constantly going to the UK. Yeah. Great wrestler, a lot of fun. Then you got Davey Vega, who is just phenomenal. And there's a new kid in town, Benjamin Trust. And I met Ben last year, and I've never met somebody who works harder and wants it more than Ben. And he's recently kind of started wrestling with Glory Pro a little bit. I'm just excited for people to see him. He's really, really good, and he's only going to get better. So there's that, and then also what else do we got on this card? There's so many matches. I don't want to skip.
Leave anybody out? Yeah, I know.
I feel like I'm forgetting something, and it's a big deal. Let me look at my. Why don't you guys talk amongst yourself for 1 minute? I'm gonna look at my phone.
Don't worry, we'll edit this part out.
One of my biggest thoughts, I was going to say one of my last questions here for a little bit, but one of my biggest thoughts is just the bar that you set for STL1 for a local indie show, quote unquote. I thought, the production was off the chain and you had great matches. Obviously, you had great talent there. I'll piggyback on that here in a second. Actually, I'll just ask the question now. What was the biggest hoop that you had to jump through from STL1 through STL2? A lot of us don't know about booking anything. We make jokes about Tony Khan and Vince and how they can't book and blah blah blah. So you're the closest thing that we know of anybody that had to do what Tony Khan has to do, what Vince has to do.
Except for my very close friendship with Vince Russo. That's correct.
So talk about talk about just the challenges of making either show happen, one or two, the hoop jumping, the whole 9 yards.
I think with one, STL vs. the World 1, I think it was more just kind of like we were putting dream match scenarios together. We weren't really telling stories. Mm-hmm. We were just kind of like, putting stuff together. And figuring out what made sense. And it was fun, and I thought we did a good job, and STL was able to get some wins out of it, which was great, and everybody was wonderful to work with. But I didn't really get to, really tell stories and book like I wanted to. And I think when we did the second show, I really got to do that. And I learned a lot from both shows. And with this show, we're telling a lot more stories, whether it be with Camaro and Dak, whether it be with the 6-man ladder match, the Battle Royal.
Who's Gary Jey? Who's Gary Jey fighting?
Gary Jey is fighting Jake something.
Right. I think that was the one that you forgot earlier. That is.
It was one of two matches I forgot. That match is going to be insane.
Yeah, that match is going to be insane. Gary Jey versus. Tell me the guy's name that he fought at Pops.
Thomas Shire, the guy that's fighting Nick Aldis.
Yes.
Very, very fun match where they pulled the tarp off of the ring and they were power bombing each other onto wood, which I enjoyed quite a bit. That's a very fun match.
Say y'all getting real up in this motherfucker.
I had fun during that match, man. Like, there's nothing like being at a pro wrestling live event and just booing the heels,
which you should do,
you should do, and cheering on the baby faces.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
So just in case people haven't seen STL versus the World 1 or the Pop Show, obviously, if you want to catch up, can they catch up? Where can they do it? Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, just go to Grand Ole Wrestling YouTube. That's all you got to do. Everything's on there. You can watch all the shows. The production on the second show is much better than the first show. And I'm really excited for us to actually have that we have a really, really great video team that comes in from Kansas City. They did the second show from Dusk Till Dawn at Pops for us. And I'm excited to have them on this show, and really the production, the video that we show from this show will go up on YouTube a couple weeks after. So if you can't make it for some reason, a couple weeks later, the show will be up on YouTube. One thing I did want to talk about before I go here is the 6-man ladder match that we're doing. So, I wanted to, obviously the gimmick, the whole thing for the show is STL versus the world. So we need to have STL represented wrestlers versus the best in the world. Now, obviously, there's a lot of guys who live in the area who compete, at Glory Pro. They compete on, a lot of the best shows in the area around the country. And I wanted them to be a part of this too. Guys like Ethan Price, guys like Cody Lane, Xavier Walker. If you haven't seen Xavier Walker wrestle, he's about 6'7". He's a bad motherfucker. He is great. He's a Michigan guy. He runs with the Jake Somethings and the Rohit Rajus. To have this 6-man ladder match with the guys that we have in this, we have Xavier, Cody Lane, Ethan Price, Kenny Alfonso, who's incredible, ATM, who's really up and coming, and then we're going to have whoever wins the pre-show battle royal. We have a 25-man pre-show battle royal as well, but whoever wins that is going to go, and they're going to be in the ladder match. So if you win the battle royal, you get to go in the ladder match. And the battle royal is kind of like, it's going to be kind of like what do you call it? What's the one that AEW does? What's it called? The Casino Battle Royal, I think it's called. So basically what we do is we start with 10 guys, and then every 5 minutes we add 6 or 7 more guys to it. And we do that a couple times. And
is there a guy at the very end that's going to shock everybody? Is CM Punk coming out?
No, I don't got money for that.
I was about to say, CM Punk comes out. I was about to
Joey
say,
did
it's over.
Joey got CM Punk.
I about to say, you ain't going to tell me nothing for the rest of this night.
$60 worth of fucking Lion's
I was
Choice.
going to say, I guess I'm going to say right now, if Joey gets CM Punk for STL versus the World 2, that's pay-per-view.
And Joey, where can you get tickets?
So tickets, Metro Tickets, metrotix.com. You can go on any of our socials. Instagram is Grand Ole Wrestling. Facebook's Grand Ole Wrestling. Twitter is Grandel Wrestle. All the links are on the socials. Just click on the link. You can go and pick your seats out. I urge you to get your seats now, though, because they are going fast, and all the seats are reserved. So the earlier you get in, the better they are. Like you guys sat in the balcony last year. You know how great the balcony seats are.
Well,
I can't recommend
balcony was hot.
That's what I was going to say.
It was very nice.
Jason and I will be there, and we're going to be there.
Get there early. We're gonna have a pre-show match with two really incredible women, and then also with Heather Reckless versus Amina Belmont, and then we're also gonna have the big battle royal. So definitely get there early. Real quick, I know I've been taking up a lot of your guys' time, but we're doing a partnership with a company called Golden Gems. It's a clothing company here in St. Louis. They're going to have tons of merch from the show. They're going to be out there just doing a great job. Our merch looks incredible this year. I'm really excited about it. We're going to have hats. We're going to have girls' tank tops. We're going to have shirts, all the stuff. As well as just a big thank you to all the businesses that we work with, like, Four Hands, Sauce on the Side. We're actually working with Suede Dispensary this year. So just we couldn't do this without these local companies. Like, this event costs tens and thousands of dollars to put on, and like these local companies make this possible. So just want to give a shout out to all those companies.
Say them again.
We got Four Hands, obviously. Suede Dispensary. You can go and get all your goodies there.
What kind of goodies are you talking about, Joe?
I was just there on Monday.
Oh, okay, all right.
There'll be some Suede,
hey, it's
baby.
legal, man.
Just say it's totally legal.
Sauce on the Side. Obviously, Golden Gems. We're also doing our after party this year at ITAP in the Loop. So after the show, come over to ITAP. We're going to have wrestling on, hang out. We're going to have food there. It'll be a good time.
You guys
so,
heard
those are the main ones.
Hell yeah, man. Support those local businesses. The one that Joey didn't mention is Jack Patrick's. They didn't sponsor him this time, so don't go to Jack Patrick's.
Wow.
I love Jack Patrick.
Stop.
Come on. That place is going to survive the cockroaches.
It is. Here's the reason. Okay, I'm just going to give my reason real quick because I don't want you to get talking shit on me. So that night, the Battlehawks and the soccer team have a game in downtown St. Louis, and I thought it would not be a smart move to pick a bar in downtown St. Louis to have an after party at.
Yeah.
So I wanted something a little out of downtown.
I'll tell you what, out of the city and the Battlehawks and Joey's show, I'm going to Joey's show.
Of course, but
every day, and twice on Sunday.
But this is why Joey's a booker, because he sees the big picture and is like, you know what? We're not going to have everybody go downtown.
Joey
We're just
O'Farrell,
going to go outside.
One last question, because I know you're a loyal listener of Band from Ringside.
Oh Jesus,
I really am. True.
This is true. We've had conversations.
Who is right more often?
Oh my God! You guys all have your good.
Bill, Jason, or Zach?
Pick Zach.
You guys all. Well, Zach's always right.
Pick Zach is the easy way out.
Zach has the best one-liners.
He does.
I basically just listen to the show for Zach's one-liners.
Well, who's in second place, me or Jason?
With one-liners?
No, with who's right about stuff.
I think it varies each week, man. Don't put me.
What a fucking politician!
Yes, ride that fence, Joe.
Yeah, ride that kayfabe, you motherfucker.
Ride that hey man, he trying to sell a show. He trying to worry about
Joey
how you go.
O'Farrell, Tender Mahal.
Real quick, what was the hot take this week? What was the hot take this week that I missed out
on? Well,
it's probably
I said
Bill.
John Cena is the worst promo of all time.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, Bill hates John Cena.
Yes, Bill hates John Cena.
We expanded a little more on that. I was going to say, I think that was the one that was like.
Well, let me ask you this, Tender. What do you think about MJF versus Daniel Bryan?
You're going to hate me for this.
No, speak your truth. Speak your truth.
What?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. No, that's fair. No, look, Totally fair.
I had to work a show that night, and then I haven't had the time to watch it.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say I did text Joey.
Tender Mahal. I can't recommend it more.
If you get a chance, you need to watch it, number one. And number two, in Joey's defense, I did text him Sunday and was like, what's up?
You can probably skip like the first 20 minutes, but like the first 20 minutes is just MJF and the fuck out of it.
No, don't skip it.
And then it
don't
starts
skip it.
I wouldn't say skip it either. I think it's
has MJF won you over, Bill? Are you on the MJF train?
Yeah. I admitted my wrongness tonight on the podcast. I said I was wrong. I was like, he's convinced me now. This 67-minute Iron Man match is incredible. Incredible.
If you have an hour 15 minutes,
yeah,
knock it out.
It's
really good.
And the last 30 minutes of it is bonkers.
Is AEW? Are they going to be able to build stories, though? That's the question. Are they ever going to be a company that could really tell stories?
I think they
just did on Sunday.
I tell you
twice.
what, man, they're the only one that I feel like watching every single week live. I'm like, give this shit to me live. Like, I don't have to watch Raw. I don't have to watch SmackDown when it happens. Wednesday nights, I'm like, Aaron, can you go listen to a book and take a bath or something so I can watch AEW for the next 2 hours?
Real quick.
You can leave me alone?
Before he goes on this tangent. Are we going to talk to you for...
Roll the fuck up!
Are we going to talk to you on 300?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's all I need to know. So at that point, we can wrap this joker up. We talked about tickets. We talked about the venue. Anything else that you want to tell people that haven't seen the first? We've seen the first. I know how great it is. I'm excited for the second one go around.
Tell you what, Jason,
the first.
You're like Sam from Quantum Leap has just hopped into your body for the last five minutes. Like, you've already asked this question.
Okay.
Where are we at, Joey?
Man, how about that Quantum Leap reference, Bill, just for rest?
Jason's
Bill's
he's
out.
mad.
No.
God damn it. It's going to be uncomfortable here for the next 2 hours.
Oh, man. The next leap, you leap home. No, I did want to ask you guys about
5
AEW.
minutes ago, he was JFK.
Oh, I'm hit.
Oh, my God.
Damn, this shit's hot. What's wrong with me?
Seatbelt didn't save JFK.
Did you guys? I do want to talk about AEW for a second, though, if I can.
Yeah, by all means, knock
Real
yourself
quick,
out.
it's cold out here.
One thing I really liked is I like that they're taking their time with stuff. Like, I like that they didn't have MJF come out this week.
Oh,
And
totally.
They're waiting until
it's
next
brilliant.
week. They're really smart move. They're giving you something. Because I was driving home from I think I went and saw Creed 3. I did. I went and saw Creed 3 yesterday.
How was it?
And it was incredible.
Okay.
And I'm driving home, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to make it in time because I know they're going to fucking bring MJF out for the first segment. And instead, they had a good match with Lethal and Cassidy, which was incredible. But
then it should have been.
No, I won't say that. I won't say that. I won't say that.
It had no business being that good. When's Jey Lethal going to win a fucking match, though? Come on.
But ROH is in play, but go ahead.
That motherfucker's old.
I'm
Jesus Christ.
I'm excited. Right now, I'm excited to watch Dynamite next week. Not only because of the MJF promo, because it's from Winnipeg. And you got Jericho's hometown, you got Omega's hometown, you got Don Callis' hometown. Like, I can't wait to talk about that.
You got that 3-on-3-on-3 match, and you also have, man, when Don Callis said that Chris Jericho is one of the greatest of all time, but it still makes him the second from Winnipeg, and he goes, if you give me 4 to 6 weeks to train, he goes, you'd be the third best from
like,
Winnipeg.
Damn.
Oh, man, I know. Wasn't that awesome? That was the most cold-blooded shit ever.
I was about to say, that's hot fire, ladies and gentlemen.
Such a good line. All right. Hey, Joey O'Farrell, STL versus the World at the Grandel on March the 18th. Anything else we need to know?
No, just come, be there. You know, I think any expectations you have of the show are going to be blown out of the water if you come and see what this can be. I mean, this is just such a next level, not to toot my own horn, but this is just a next level production and a next level card. It's not something you're going to see anywhere else around the country unless you're going to see an AEW or a WWE. Like, there's no in between.
Preach.
You heard it here first, guys. That's where it's going to be. Thank you for tuning in. And this is
Banned from Ringside.